for everything. Alright, looks like we got everything going. So what's up, guys? I'm actually trying a slightly different format just because I guess my monthly limit on StreamYard was almost up, and I am not going to pay $45 a month just to use something I would probably only times a month. So I figured I'd just share screen the StreamYard screen and just use OBS for it. But how is everybody? I see Boss, I see Tyler, I see Mike was all here. And all that good shit. I assume, Boss, you are at work. Ricky will probably be here in like 35 minutes, so we gotta figure out what the hell to do for 45 minutes. Oh, I just got this one chunk of fucking potato chip stuck in my tooth. It's just about. Alright. So. What the hell? What are you doing in here, Poteet? Dylan Poteeties? You'll never show up on any of my streams. What the hell, man? The hell you doing here? Start doing 10-hour shifts soon. Damn. 10 hours. Vacation. Aren't you with... No, I don't think you're Seth and all. Dylan. But anyway, so... figure out what to do. Well, I guess for a little bit we can always go back to the well of make me choose between 2 bands and 2 albums for a little while. Oh, excuse me. For a little while, and also ask questions. Oh, you're on vacation? Dylan Po titties! Yes, I said titties. Bodacious tatas. When they're little, they're tittles. When they're big, they're tatonsters. Titzillas. Titanics. Better yet, globes of love. Alright, so WrestleMania 10 or 13? Easily WrestleMania 10. Mania 13, if not for Brett versus Austin, would have been the worst WrestleMania of all time. Killing Is My Business or Master of Reality? Master of Reality. Killing Is My Business is a great album, but it's not my favorite Megadeth album. It was in my top 5, but whereas Master of Reality is probably the best Black Sabbath album of all time, so I'd probably have to go with that. That's for you. But of course, we could always also do the classic tier maker shit. In fact, I think that's what we're gonna do. So if you guys got any interesting ideas for a tier list we can pull off, why the hell not? Oh, by the way. You saw doubles! Talk about being in the Twilight Zone for a moment. I just had the second camera over, well, not the second camera, but a second screen, so that way I could highlight comments like this. British Steel or Blizzard of Oz? Blizzard of Oz. That's my favorite Ozzy solo album. British Steel is good, but I think it's over. Let's get the tier lists ready to rock and roll. I'm actually surprised just another Heavy Metal Maniac isn't popping up in here. Weird. Alright, so tier list. Have to think of some good ones. I mean, I've done quite a few Marvel tier lists, but we can always give it. All MCU movies does it have Thunderbolt? No, it doesn't, and it in fact includes non-MCU movies, like the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire stuff. Meow! Where the hell? Boy. My Arms, Your Hearse, or Wake. That's harder. But I would personally go with My Arms, Your Hearse. I love Awake, but I like My Arms, Your Hearse more. Even though that was what my number 4 Opeth album. And I'm not finding like an updated list that includes Thunderbolt. Actually, maybe if I specify MCU movies, Thunder. Maybe that'll help me a little bit. Alright, here we go. Hopefully this is... Yep, we got it. Okay. So actually, I'm going to add a couple of categories. Haven't... What? Oh. E. F. Haven't seen. Alright, there we go. We'll do a Judas Priest list here after a bit. Alright, so let's kick this party off with the first Iron Man movie. I'm not going to quite put it in S tier, but I'm going to put it in A tier, because that is the start of it all, and easily the best Iron Man movie. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, hands down, the best Iron Man movie of the bunch. So, yeah. Hey, Andrew and Aaron. Go. And there you go. Alright, so anyways, The Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk. It was okay, but in comparison to a lot of movies, Iron Man 2, I'll give it a C. Like, I really like Iron Man's story in there, but the problem with the movie was the villain wasn't the best. Even though Mickey Rourke did an awesome job playing Whiplash, unfortunately, the characterization of Whiplash in this movie was kind of bad. Hey, what's up, Ben? Oh yeah, my Bloodbath ranking, which hasn't done the best since coming out, but who knows, maybe it'll get more. Anyways, back to the tier list. Thor, the very first Thor movie. I'm torn between B and C. I'm actually gonna go B for the first Thor movie. Like, I like it, but it's not my favorite of the Thor franchise. Captain America, the First Avenger, that's another A tier. I mean, yeah, it's the origin story film, but you kind of needed to do with Captain America. So, yeah. Anyways, the first S tier goes to the first Avengers. In my opinion, still the best MCU movie top to bottom, just because it was just perfection. Absolute perfection. The entire way through. Yeah, sorry, I keep trying to get this piece of potato chip stuck. That's stuck out of my. I think I got it for the most part. Alright, back on track to Iron Man 3. The weakest of the three Iron Man movies. Again, it's the same issue with Iron Man 2, only worse. Like, Iron Man's story was great, but the villain sucked. Absolutely sucked. Or The Dark World, I'm putting that in C tier. It was okay again. I originally used to really love Thor: The Dark World. I still do like it, but I don't go back to it really hardly at all. So, yeah, kind of where I'm at with that one. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, second S tier movie. I remember seeing that in theaters down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, when it came out in April of 2014, just a couple days before I was at WrestleMania 30. So it was a hell of a weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy. Another S tier. Absolutely love Guardians of the Galaxy. Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm going A tier with that one. It's a great movie, but definitely felt like a small drop off from the first event. First Ant-Man movie, I'm going A tier with Ant-Man. I really, really like Ant-Man quite a lot. Captain America Civil War, another S tier. I mean, the movies from basically Winter Soldier onward for a good long period of time, it was like the movies were just getting better and better and better each and every single time. Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange, I'm torn between S and A because I really, really loved Doctor Strange. I'll go A tier for Doctor Strange. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That was another very, very good movie. Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm going A tier with that one. There's going to be a lot of A tier movies because there's a lot I can't quite put in the upper echelon just yet. But, ow, toe. But yeah, I really, really loved Spider-Man Homecoming. Thor Ragnarok. Finally, a Thor movie that gets into the S tier. I still love Thor Ragnarok. Same with the first Black Panther. I think Black Panther was the Marvel Cinematic Universe film I saw the absolute most of in theaters. 6 times in 2 months. I just loved it so much. Avengers Infinity War. It's another S tier. I really, really liked it. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm going A tier, personally. I don't get why this movie gets such shit. I really don't get it. I thought it was a little bit better than the original Ant. At least in my opinion. Oh boy. Captain Marvel. I did like it when it first came out. However, the movie itself has not aged very well for me. And it's largely because I cannot stand Brie Larson as a woman. I cannot stand her. She is an absolute cunt. a bitch, and has a bad reputation of sticking her foot in her mouth when doing interviews. You want to know how bad she is? Watch the Avengers Endgame press tour when she's doing an interview with Jeremy Renner sitting next to her. And Jeremy Renner looked absolutely uncomfortable being next to her. Like, why do I have to be with this fucking... Oh. So, I'm going D tier for Captain Marvel. Just based on the fact it's not aged well for me. Like, if literally Brie Larson was not in the movie, I would put the movie in, like, B tier. But because Brie Larson's in it, it's the kiss of death. Avengers Endgame, that's another easy S tier. I mean, holy shit, that final battle was insane. Next up, Spider-Man Far From Home, the final movie of the golden era, you could say, of the MCU. I'm going A tier with it. I thought it was actually a little bit better than Homecoming. I'll be straight up honest. Next up, Black Widow. I'm going C tier for Black Widow. Like, it was alright. The problem was, the movie should have been made much earlier. Like, honestly, that should have been the movie that followed Captain America Civil War. Like, right after Captain America Civil War, we should have gotten the Black Widow. Especially since that's how it was in the timeline. Like, all the events of the movie happened in the timeline. Hang on a second. Alright, I was just taking care of some... Alright, anyways, so next up, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm going B tier with that. I think it was a decent movie. I haven't really gone back to it, but from what I remember, it was a solid movie. Solid. Like, basically, how I got the lists, S tier are like the best of the best, A tier are all fantastic, but not quite upper echelon. B are like good to decent, C it's like okay to average, D are like the not so great movies, and then F's like bottom of the barrel. And then, of course, haven't seen. Speaking of bottom of the barrel, Eternals. I've only watched it once, and it was when it came out. Did not need to be more than 2.5 hours long, being the second longest MCU movie at this point. And yeah, basically they're almost trying to sweep everything about this movie under the rug. For the most part, because the only thing of note that they've done since then involving the Eternals was in the new Captain America movie where they go to Tiamat to get adamantium. Anyways, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I'm going C tier with it. Like, it was okay, but it was a big, big disappointment. It wasn't as insane as I was hoping it. Speaking of disappointment, Thor Love and Thunder. It's okay, but my god, like, the fucking writing for Gore the God Butcher was terrible. And a few other things that I won't go into. So yeah. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I still have not watched it. So I can't really make a major opinion about it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I'll go C tier. Like, I basically skimmed through it, and it was okay, from what I remember. It's easily the weakest of the Ant-Man. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that's another S tier movie for me. I mean, that... Holy shit, dark. Holy shit, dark was what it was. So there you go. Oh, I completely forgot Spider-Man No Way Home. That's another S-tier movie. How could I forget that? I skipped that one. Whoops! The Marvels. While I haven't seen it, I'm putting it in F. Because if you couldn't make your money back on that movie, it goes to show you that it was shit. So I don't even need to watch it to know it's bad. So there you go. Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm gonna go A tier. I do really, really love it. I don't think I like it more than the first Deadpool, but it's definitely a movie I loved. It was so good. Captain America Brave New World, haven't watched it yet, but I know it's coming to Disney Plus soon, so I'll probably see it. And then finally, the Thunderbolts. Controversial, I'm gonna put it in S tier. I loved the Thunderbolts. I'm almost tempted, well, it's probably too late now to go try to see it in my local theater again, unless I decide to just spring onto somebody like, hey, I want to go see it before it's not in my local theater for the next few months. But yeah, I've seen it once, and holy shit, it was sweet. Alright, so now to arrange everything in order from, like, worst to best in all this. Well, I'm gonna put Eternals last for now, even though, you know what, screw it. I'm keeping the Marvels last, because fuck that. Alright, so in the D tier, the worst of the bunch here will probably be Captain Marvel. Then I'm going Iron Man 3. Then Thor Love and Thunder. Then The Incredible Hulk. C tier, I'll probably say Iron Man 2 is bottom of the barrel when it comes to C tier. Then I'm going Thor The Dark World. Then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, then Black Widow. Between Shang-Chi and the first Thor movie, I think I like the first Thor more than Shang-Chi. So I'm gonna keep it there. Alright, so now to the A tier movies. My least favorite of the A tier will probably be... Even though saying it's my least favorite of the tier is kind of an oxymoron, I'm gonna go with Avengers Age of Ultron. I do love it. It's an awesome movie, but in comparison to everything else in the A tier, I don't like it as much. Then I'm probably gonna go Captain America the First Avenger next. Then I'm gonna go Ant-Man. Then after Ant-Man, I'm gonna say Spider-Man Homecoming. Actually, no. Ant-Man and the Wasp will go up just a notch above the first. Then Spider-Man. Then I'm gonna say Spider-Man Far From Home. Then I'm going Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Then Deadpool and Wolverine. Then Doctor Strange. Then Iron Man. So we got A tier sorted out pretty. Alright, so now the S tier. This is where it's going to get a little more challenging. I guess because I've only watched Thunderbolts once thus far, I'll keep it at the bottom on the S tier for the time being. Then I'll probably go Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right there. Then I'm going to say... I guess Spider-Man No Way Home will stay there. Then I'm going the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Then I'm going to go... Now this is really where it gets tough, because now we're in the Elite, the Sinister Seven, I'm calling it. Because all these 7 movies, I think, are the best of the best. Then I'm probably gonna go with Black Panther. Man, this is really where it gets hard. Then I'm going to go with Winter Soldier. Then Ragnarok. Then I'm going Infinity War, then Endgame, then Civil War, and then the first Avengers. So, there you go. So that is my rough ranking of every MCU movie we have had up to this point. So, recap. So, in order from favorite to least favorite, the first Avengers, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Thunderbolt, Iron Man 1, Doctor Strange, Deadpool and Wolverine, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man, Captain America the First Avenger, Avengers Age of Ultron, Thor, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Black Widow, Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor the Dark World, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Thor Love and Thunder, Iron Man 3, Captain Marvel, The Eternals, and The Marvels. Even though I should put The Marvels and haven't seen, I'm still, just for the sake of shitting on it, putting it F tier. And then the others I haven't seen, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Captain America Brave New World. As far as what we got coming up next, we got Fantastic Four in 2 months. Then after that, who the hell knows if we're getting a movie before the next Spider-Man. Then Avengers Doomsday, then Avengers Secret Wars, since Doomsday got pushed to Christmas next year, and then Secret Wars pushed to Christmas 2027. So, I have not watched all the Batman movies, so I can't really rank them. Let's see. 90s black metal? Would they even have a 90s black metal chart? 90s black metal. Oh, I'm not seeing it. Holy shit, nearly 1,000 black metal albums for... Good God, no. Good God, no. On that. Let's try this. 90s death metal debut albums. We have Perfection, Essential, Awesome, Good, and... Already I see one error. Piece of Time was not a debut in the 90s. 89. It's okay. Alright, so kicking off with Cannibal Corpse, Eaten Back to Life. I'm going awesome. Like, it's not the best Cannibal Corpse album, obviously, but I absolutely do. But, so, for you, who absolutely love the album. Alright, next up we have At the Gates. I forget the fucking name of it. It's such a long-winded title. The Red in the Sky is ours. Okay, I was just looking at my little stack of CDs. I still need to listen to it in full. I still do. I keep putting it off. Broken Hope, Swamped in Gore, that's an S tier album for me. I mean, that's still, in my opinion, the best Broken Hope album. Cryptopsy, Blasphemy, Made Flesh. I'm gonna go with Awesome again. I don't think it holds a candle to None So Vile, but it's still an awesome debut. Dark Throne, Soulside Journey. I'm gonna go with Essential because I think it's one of the more underrated albums out of this entire list. Deicide, I'm going S tier with that one. I mean, that's my personal favorite Deicide album. Demolich Nespith, that's another S tier. Disembowelment, Transcendence into the Peripheral, that's another S tier. I mean, that's Essential Death Doom. Dismember Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, that's another S tier. Edge of Sanity, Nothing But Death Remains. I'm going good. It is a really good album, but the production's pretty... Entombed, Left Hand Path, that's an easy S tier. Immolation, Dawn of Possession. I'm going A tier on that one. Same with Incantations, Onward to Golgotha. Malevolent Creation, The Ten Commandments. I'm going B tier on that one. Suffocation Effigy of the Forgotten, that's an S tier for sure. Unleashed, Where No Life Dwells, I'm going A tier for that one. Aborted's Purity of Perversion, I've not listened to it. Amorphous, The Carillion Isthmus. I'll go A tier on that one. I think that is an awesome, awesome debut. Same with Asphyx, The Rack. Demigod, Slumber of Soul and Eyes. That's another A tier. Devourment, Molesting the Decapitated. I have not listened to that one. Dying Fetus, Purification Through Violence. I'm going to go B tier for that one. Exhumed Gore Metal. That's another B tier. Gore Guts, Considered Dead. Also going to go B tier for that one. Grave Into the Grave. I'll go A tier. Crisian. Black Force Domain. I've not listened to that one. I still need to dig into. Mortician, Hacked Up for a Barbecue. I'm going A tier on that one. Necrophagist, Onset of Putrefaction. A tier. Nocturnus the Key. That's S tier. Sinister, Cross the Sticks. I'm going A tier for that. 6 Feet Under, Haunted. I'll put in Atheist Piece of Time, even though, again, this was 89. So I'm not going to include it. Benediction, Subconscious Terror. I've only listened to a couple of songs. I still need to listen to the whole thing. Same with the Brutality album and The Cancer to the Gory End. Carnage, Dark Recollections. I'm going B tier. Cynic Focus, S tier. What the hell is this one? Oh, Draw and Quarter to Kill is. Need to listen to it. Hate Eternal, Conquering the Throne. I'll go B. Hypocrisy, Penetralia. I still need to listen to the whole thing top to bottom. Massacre from Beyond. I'll go A tier. Monstrosity, Imperial Doom. A tier. Morgoth Cursed. A tier. Nile, Amongst the Catacombs of Nephron-Ka. A tier. And then Vader's Ultimate Incantation. I'll go B tier. So the rest of these are either ones I haven't listened to, or not listened to enough, or in the case of the Atheist album, wasn't a 90s album, it was 89. So, yep. So there you go. So that's 90s death metal debut. Hey, J-Raw. Well, it was death metal debuts, and obviously Slaughter of the Soul wasn't there. But as an S tier album in general, absolute. Ah, fucking type tonight. I'm multitasking, everybody. Going back and forth between a lot of shit. Ow, my toe. Well, technically, actually, let me highlight the comment. Technically, there were releases of the album in '89, so I don't count it as a debut of the '90s. Like, it was recorded in '88, and there were a lot of like versions of the album made in '89 that were released, but on an official label, it wasn't released until 1990. I still consider it an '80s album. Okay, let's try. I saw there was some other lists being considered. Just don't know what. It's kind of hard because we've been knocking down a lot of these tier lists. Let's try metal subgenres. I think there's probably been one I've done already, but okay, there's a lot of like unnecessary ones. Where was that one that I remember seeing Become the Night just absolutely tear apart? Mostly for no reason. Alright, let's try. I think I've done a Judas Priest tier list. Let's look at this, including Invincible Shield. Okay, here we go. Alright, so kicking off with Rockarola. I'm gonna go C tier for Rockarola. Like, for a hard rock album, it's fun. It's a fun album, but it's not a Judas Priest album, say. Sad Wings of Destiny, though, that is a Priest album, and it's incredible, so I go S tier with it. Sin After Sin, I'm gonna go A tier, that one. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a Ricardo sighting.
Hello there.
Hello. Finally, some company around here, so that way I'm not just out of my mind.
I was originally gonna get out like at 10 at night, but since they asked me to come in early to work, they were like, we might let you leave early or stay till 10, and they were like, we'll let you leave early. I'm like, yes.
Lucky you. Oh yeah, real quick. Were you seeing double? Anyways, so back to this Judas Priest rank.
Okay.
Alright, Stained Class, that's gotta be S tier.
S tier, yeah.
Hellbent for Leather /
Killing Machine. B. It was a good album.
It's a great album. It's definitely transitioning to what they would become in the 80s.
Yeah.
But still, I consider that album the perfect balance between everything they did on these 3 albums and the following album, British Steel, which personally I'm going B tier with it.
Ooh, I mean, I will go A tier because it's British Steel, but I mean, honestly, with British Steel, there's only like 3 songs. I mean, Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight, and Metal Gods are kind of like the big hits of the album.
And you do have a couple of deep cuts on there, like The Rage and
Was United on that, or was it on the?
Yeah, and United's not that great of a song.
I mean, it's a catchy song. I'm not saying that's like the greatest Priest song ever written, but there have been a lot worse.
Point of Entry, it's not bad. There are some good songs on there, but it's not bad. Decent. It's a
but
decent album.
I felt that was like climbing, and then Point Entry was like literally a point of exit.
Right. Screaming for Vengeance.
S tier. Yeah.
Same with Defenders.
Yes. Turbo. Okay. Turbo. Yeah, I mean,
it's got. Well, then again,
over the years.
There are 3 songs. 3 songs I like on it. Title track, Reckless, and Out in the Cold. Everything else.
Oh god.
Honestly, you know what? I can't quite go C tier with if there's only 3 good songs.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it has gotten more love over the years.
No. Ram It Down.
Ram It Down. D, yeah. That's one of the albums I have yet to get from Priest.
I say
I
it's
need to
worth
get to
getting.
it.
It's still
I
decent.
mean, yeah,
It's just there's only a few songs I go back to
the title
on it.
track. Um, isn't there a cover of Johnny Be Good on it?
Yeah, which I'm not a huge fan of. Uh,
Yeah,
Monsters of Rock is good because that's a doomy song, and the
yeah,
song Heavy Metal is not bad. Anyways, Painkiller, top.
yep. Top
Demolition, or not
Nation.
Demolition, Jugulator.
No,
I'm going
Juggler
B. I'm going
E.
B.
Yeah,
I think it's the most
I'm going.
underrated album of the catalog.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because I've met Tim Ripper Owens. I mean, he's a great guy, and did he sing some of the songs from that album? I'm trying to remember. Probably
If
not, but
if he did,
probably
it should have
not.
been Cathedral Spires being the big one.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I know he did him when he was with KK on KK's Priest, but still, yeah, it's fine.
Demolition, bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
There's only
that's
two
like one.
songs that I even care for,
Yeah,
and
of
not
all the
even.
Priest albums, that's like the only one I don't want to get, honestly.
And that's the only one I don't have either.
Yeah.
Angel of
Oh,
Retribution.
Retribution. I put it at C. It was still, the Return of Halford had its
It was a good
issues.
album. It was
It
good.
was a good album. It was a good album.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. I mean, yeah, I do see the argument.
I'll be fair because I know a lot of people would immediately put in F. I highly disagree. Personally, I would put it in
No.
C, but I'll meet in the middle and go D because there are some really good songs on the album that people don't
Hmm.
want to admit.
Yeah, they are.
So there you go. Redeemer of
Ancient
Souls.
Souls.
D.
Really?
Mainly because I hate the production on that album. It's not good.
Wasn't
Songs
Andy
are
Sneap the
good.
one who produced the
No,
album?
he didn't. No, he didn't do Redeemer of Souls. I think that
Oh,
was. Oh God, who
I
the
know it was.
hell did produce?
I know he did Firepower, but I think it was Redeemer of Souls he produced.
No, he didn't do Redeemer of Souls. It
I felt.
was.
I know.
It was Glenn Tipton and some guy named Mike Zeter. They were the ones who did the production on it, and yeah, they really dropped the ball.
Mm,
Song wise,
yeah,
they're really good songs, but the production's ass on the album.
yeah.
Anyways, both Firepower and Invincible Shield
Power.
go A tier.
Yes, yes. They're
Awesome
really, really,
stuff.
really. They're amazing stuff. All
I don't
things
know
trendy
which I
Steve,
like
who's now part of
more.
the band.
I don't know which I like more. I probably still like Firepower a little bit more because Invincible Shield I haven't gone back to as much as I should, but Firepower I still will go back and jam song here and there.
Yeah, I mean, Firepower was my album of the year when that came out. I
I
think it was
think it was
also.
mine, or it was no, it was up there. It
It
was
was.
up
I
there.
know it was. I know it was Archer's also album of the year, and Invincible Shield. God, I mean, I know they're gonna sing some songs when I see them live in October, so that's gonna be sweet.
Yep. All right, now to arrange them all. So F is easily defined there. I
Yeah. G.
say D. I
I
think
say
Redeemer stays there. Then Ram It
Ram It
Down.
Down.
Then Point of Entry. Then Turbo. Then Nostradamus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's an easy switch with Rock and Roller, Angel
Yeah.
of Retribution.
British Steel.
I think this is good for B tier, and I think this is good
Mm,
for A tier. Now S tier,
yeah. Uh.
I think that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though like Defender's my favorite Priest album, I mean, it's like to me my go-to Priest album. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
Uh,
And send us some album versus albums. If everyone's in the
yeah,
chat,
send
that
us
way we
some
can.
album versus album, band versus bands while I look up some. to do.
Is there a swallow? Is there a swallow the sun?
I guess we'll see. Follow the sun.
No.
Oh, and they have everything, including Plague of Butterfly.
Okay. Okay.
So let's start at the beginning with The Morning Never Came. I'll fully confess. Oh, hang on. Oh, hey, Maniac. I believe I sent you an invite link in Instagram. Check your DMs.
Mm.
And we'll wait until he gets in here before we start.
Yeah, which, by the way, I got this in the mail. It's a promotional ad from, I don't know what magazine. I haven't even opened it yet. From back in 2015. So this is 10 years old. From Songs from the North.
I remember seeing that today.
Yeah, I don't even know which magazine it is. I want to check. Just want to be very careful because this is 10 years old. To be very careful because eventually, if they come back and they do another meet and greet, of course, I want them to sign it.
Ricky,
so this
you're in trouble, Mike.
So this is from Decibel Magazine, issue number 134 from December. So yeah, again, this is literally 10 years old. And then I just bought another one, which is even older, from when they were promoting Hope back in 07. So that one's gonna be, and I had to import that from the UK, so you know. And then I bought, what else did I buy? I bought a beer mug that they sell on their website. Even though I'm never gonna use it for drinking because I don't drink, but it's a beer mug with the band's logo. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm buying that. And
hello
there, Maniac.
Hello there.
No, I didn't even see you were streaming. I was filming a video actually, and then I saw you were streaming. I was like, oh shit, let me in.
Yeah, and I'm doing a half-assed version of it with OBS screen shared StreamYard because I don't have the paid plan. I have free plan. So I have to limit the amount of streams I do in June just to make sure I don't hit that threshold. So anyways, we're about to do Swallow the Sun ranking.
Ooh.
So kicking off with The Morning Never Came.
Okay, The Morning Never Came. Okay, just before, all these albums are excellent. I'm just saying it out loud. There's not a bad album. There's not even a bad. Okay, so The Morning Never Came. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This is more of a death metal album, even though more melodic death metal. Even though there's some doomy elements, I put it at a good. I personally put it at a good.
I figured you'd put it up higher.
Don't get me wrong, it's still a great album, but this was not every single debut album. It's like right out of the hit. It's got some moments. Again, all the songs are great, but it's not until the next album where they really, really hit their stride.
Which would be Ghosts of Loss.
I put that as excellent, honestly. Personally, for me.
Alright, and then next was Hope.
Hope in 07. This is a bit more, the band was getting more notoriety. Of course, you had the big song of the album, Don't Fall Asleep. I put it at a great.
Plague of Butterflies EP.
Ooh,
1 30-minute song.
1 minute, 30-minute song. And my God, that's a trip, honestly. I put it at excellent as well.
Alright,
and then New Moon, of course, Dan Swano making an appearance. The first appearance by Aaliyah, also in the band, helping them out with backup vocals. More memorable moments, honestly, from the album. Honestly, I put it at perfect, honestly.
And the Emerald Forest and the Blackbird.
Bird, Yellow First and the Blackbird. This was the first one that Kai Henson from Nightwish was on drums because Passy. No, actually, I'm mistaken. Kai was in New Moon, and then because Passy left after the Plague of Butterflies. Honestly, when I did this ranking, it was my least favorite album, even though it's still great. I put it at good. I put it at good.
And we don't even need to say songs.
We don't need,
up there.
yeah, up there. We don't need to. Same thing
Same
with a
with-
shadow.
And same thing with Moonflowers.
Moonflowers, yeah.
I mean, those three are, it's like three of a perfect trilogy.
Yeah. Shining.
And then Shining.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're all my.
It's
my,
still
like,
it's still a good album. It's just the production was way too polished. That's the only problem I have with the album. Other than that, like for a somewhat new direction of doing more clean vocals, I liked, and you still got some heavy doomy songs on there. Why they have to go with the Bring Me the Horizon producer?
Well, at least they didn't go full on Bring Me the Horizon.
Thank God.
They still, even though I've been like watching a lot of Juha's interviews, he said that even though the album is shining and it's uplifting, you read the lyrics, they're still very dark. If you think about it, especially the song Charcoal Sky. That song, God, those lyrics are very dark, but again, a more uplifting side of the band, and for good reason, because my God, Juha has gone through hell, and I mean hell, with Aaliyah and then
COVID.
I mean, no wonder he didn't want to release another Moonflowers. He needed a break, and good for him. Maybe the next album they release is gonna go back to a return album, more of a. I'm not saying it's gonna be a When a Shadow
anywhere near Where Shadow or Moonflowers, but maybe get back to somewhere like Hope, Ghosts of Lost, like that era.
Yeah.
Kind of do like what Behemoth, for the most part, did on the new album. That kind of returned to an older style.
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but depends on Juha. Because yes, I still need to get it. Which Juha, when I talked to him, he said that he doesn't want to make music just for making music. He wants to make music when he's like
when he
inspired, when he feels something. So it could be next year. It could be 2 years from now, 3 years from now. It all depends because the biggest gap.
Biggest gap was what, 3 years? Or no, 4 years. 4 years.
It was 4 years. But then the middle, you had, Trees of Eternity, Halochar, the Lumina Aura EP. So, which
by the way, as good as this album is, lacks compared to this.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do that since I got them both. As well as Morphosis.
I'm only bet the lyrics are better on those Hate albums.
Oh, way better. Because they're not straight up satanic. They're more like Slavic mysticism.
Whoops. God is poop. Satan good, God poop.
Like doo-doo. Like, come on, Nerdle.
Like
Cannibal Corpse. But real quick, we do have some band versus band, album versus albums. Coffins or Hood and Menace?
Hood and Menace.
Coffins by default for me. Still have not heard Hood Menace.
We're gonna need to get on. We're gonna need to get into like a call, and we're gonna jam you some Hooded Menace.
Yeah, and I'll jam you some Salted Eternus.
Moonflowers or Turn Loose to Swans. Personally, I go Moonflowers, but I do love Turn Loose to Swans.
Same with me. I love both albums. If this was like Gods of the Sun, which is more of a gothic metal album from My Dying Bride, I would have gone with that. But Moonflowers is Moonflowers.
Probably Turn Loose to Swans for me, just because I spent more time with it personally.
And while it's a typo, it should be Black Metal versus Left Hand Path. Left Hand Path, easy.
Yeah, Left Hand Path.
Left hand path.
I love black metal, don't get me wrong, but few albums come close to Left Hand Path.
Like Ultras.
And Swallow the Sun or My Dying Bride.
Swallow the Sun
for me.
All the way, every day, 100%.
My Dying Bride for me, just because, again, I've been a My Dying Bride fan for longer than I've been a Swallow the Sun fan.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how Miko is filling in for Aaron on tour for.
I know. I know.
So he's basically in both bands.
Yeah, and My Dying Bride was a big inspiration for them.
All right, Cannibal Corpse albums. Let's start
Got
at the
all of
beginning with Eaten Back. Yeah, it's got all of them.
Back to Life. Okay.
Starting with Eaten Back to Life, I go
Back to
great.
Life.
That's a great debut.
I probably bumped it down to good, personally. I don't think it's not the best representation of who they
No,
would
it's not. But for a
No.
debut, it's so fucking fun.
Yeah,
Skull
it's
full of maggots. Yes.
a lot more thrashy.
I
Shredded
guess that's
Humans
what I love about it.
is a great opener.
thrashier sound.
I don't think the production is the best, though. Like, the bass is kind of buried in the mix most of the
Yeah,
time.
they were still trying to find their sound like any other debut.
Yeah. I mean, can cut them some slack. This is 1990, and death metal production still, they were
finding
hadn't
its
quite
sound.
figured it out
Yeah,
yet.
it's one in its drive. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Butchered at Birth.
Butcher the Bird.
Also good.
Really?
I'd say fantastic, personally.
I think fantastic.
Well,
I think this is where Cannibal Corpse finally kind of became who they were. Like, gone is all the thrash, and we're back to just being fucking
We're just a straight up
death metal.
band. Yeah,
Like,
but-
dude, granted, production,
yeah, that was the
not
reason
the
I put it in great, because the production
Not
is
the
probably
best.
the worst of all these.
But, dude, all the songs are so damn killer. Like, Innards Decay, Rent and Amputation,
Vomit the Soul.
Covered with Sores, Meat Hook Sodomy, Gutted. Like, all the songs are absolutely killer. And that's their best album cover, too.
Mm-hmm.
one of the best.
I think it's their best album art, personally.
Tomb of the Mutilated. Top.
Perfection. Yeah, no question.
I'm probably one of the few people who actually think Butchered at Birth is better than Tomb of the Mutilated, but that's just me.
Well, probably it's because for me, it was like one of the first full length that I actually, when I was getting into Cannibal, I mean, that was the first one that I just started listening. And come on, Hammer Smash Face, one of the best opening songs of any album, like ever.
And of course, you have like other songs like Cryptic Stench, Necropedophile, great song title.
Addicted to Vaginal Skin.
Entrails ripped from a virgin's cunt.
Beyond the Cemetery.
Icon Blood. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Every single god. I'm hyped to see them again. I am hyped.
Next up, The Bleeding.
Top.
Yeah.
The best of all of them.
Top.
Best of the Barnes era for sure.
I still say best overall, and also the best production.
It's my number 2. It's a solid number 2. Don't
And
take
also,
that out of
I think the
context.
production, I think that's maybe Scott Burns' best production he ever had.
I don't know. I would think
I
Pierce from
don't
Within is
know.
probably the best production he ever did. Or Once Upon the Cross. I think those are his 2 best production jobs, personally.
All right, next up, Vile.
Wow. I mean, okay. So, in terms, I mean, it was a great debut for Corpse Grinder.
Yeah,
I mean,
the production
for that-
not the best, but man, the songs are so killer.
That scream from Devoured by Vermin.
Yes.
The best way you can introduce a new vocalist, just like full on blast, kind of giving like a big fuck you. This is my band now. I'm gonna show you why I deserve to be in this band. And yeah, I think Fantastic is a perfect place. Honestly,
Fair. I think that's fair.
Gallery of Suicide. I'll go good. It's
Yeah,
good album.
good.
It's a good album.
There were some fun songs on there, like
Yeah,
Sentence to Burn, and
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
trying to remember.
The title
From
track is
Skin
really
the
good.
Liquid. From Skin the Liquid, their first.
That was the
Oh
third-
yeah,
That was a no.
of course.
no,
that
it
was the first album Pat actually
With
started
Pat
playing
O'Brien
guitar.
on guitar, yeah.
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 And the first and the first one to get censored. And that's when they started censoring like the rest of the albums, most of them.
Bloodthirst.
Verse,
Fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Coffin Feeder. Oh,
Ooh,
Blowtorch Slaughter.
Raped by the Beast. Dude, that's a killer album. The production is like really stellar for 1999, especially. Like it still sounds really good to this day, even.
Gore
And
Obsessed.
Gore Obsessed.
It's okay.
It's still good,
Yeah.
but it's
Pit of
easily the
Zombies
weakest of
is
their
an awesome
catalog.
song.
Yes.
But that's really the
Yeah.
only song there that I think is like exceptional. The rest of the album is just kind of
Yeah.
Hit or miss.
This
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when they started coming to Texas to record the albums. I don't
Well,
remember.
Bloodthirst was the first one.
Oh yeah, I just don't remember.
And then it was Gore Obsessed.
Yeah.
Wretched Spawn.
Now, this is my
Now,
favorite
this-
Cannibal Corpse album, personally.
I put it at Fantastic because that's the one that really, really a lot of like fans of the 2000s really like got into Cannibal.
Personally, this is my favorite like Cannibal Corpse album overall. Like, I think this is just a perfect album. Like, you get the perfect mix of like the technical aspects, but also the brutal aspects. There's even like the song "Festering in the Crypt" is almost kind of like doomy a little bit. Like, it's just kind of this slow chugging kind of menacing song, and yeah, I think that was their last like really good album cover too, honestly, because their album covers get more tame after that one,
Yeah.
which sucks.
I think
but-
play Frantic the Bubble Man.
Oh yeah,
Kill. That's
Yep.
top.
yeah.
Top tier.
Worst album cover, but God, make them
Arguably the
suffer.
best of the Corpse Grinder era.
Oh God, when they play that song live, I headbang the living fuck out of it.
Yep.
Evisceration Plague.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Like, the production is kind of an issue on this one. I feel like when the blast beats kick in, it does overpower the rest of the instruments at points. But they still got some good songs here. Like the title track is killer. What else? What's like the other track on here that was really good? Is it?
I'm trying to remember. There was a Scalding Hail.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
Priest of Sodom is a pretty decent song. But overall, the album's just okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
Torture.
As a follow-up to Kill, it's
Yeah.
not even close.
Now the actual
Torture.
proper follow-up to Kill Torture, I'm torn between Perfect and Fantastic.
It's like great
Fantastic.
personally.
But
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Skeletal Domain, I say. It's great.
Main. Yeah.
I
Like
honestly
they
like
kind of get a
Skeletal-
little bit back towards the thrashier sound a little bit on there.
High Velocity Impact Splatters, Killer
Sadistic
Become,
Embodiment, Killer Become.
Vector of Cruelty.
Then we get Red Before
Red
Black.
Before Black.
Black.
It was
It was
good.
good.
Oh, wow.
Really? Only good? Oh, man, I love that album. Like, dude, shedding
I love
Human-
all these albums. I love all of these albums, but it's just tough
Dude,
competition.
shedding My Human Skin is a banger. Firestorm Vengeance, Heads Shoveled Off. Like, this is like where they started to get really back to more of the thrashy side, I feel like. Like on this album, because there's some thrashy barn burners on this one.
And then Violence Unimagined. I fucking
Yeah.
love that album.
God.
Yeah, no, it's
Just
good.
come out of nowhere and just unleash probably the best album since Torture, you could argue. And then Chaos
Chaos
Horrific.
horrific.
I'll go great.
It was
It was a
Yeah.
good follow-up to Violence Unimagined, but not as strong.
Still killer, though.
But still an awesome album. I mean, the hell was that one song? I really...
Is it the last song of the album, the one that's Doomier?
No, it was like a more like mid-tempo stomper. I can't remember.
Pestilent, Rictus, Pitch,
No.
Fraction of Refraction, Title Track, Blood Blind.
Bloodblind, that was the one.
Oh, yeah, Bloodblind is killer.
Yeah.
I mean, that opening riff into that tremolo, that's just... Ugh.
honestly, for me, it's between the Title Track and drain your empty, because that last song was a bit
Yeah. Alright, so now to arrange them all. Or Obsessed will go last, then Evisceration Plague. Red Before Black over Gallery. Now the grade tier, this is kind of tough.
I think I like Skeletal Domain a bit more than Back to Life. Personally.
I think In Back to Life could stay there. I think it could be fine though. I think that's fine, honestly.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chaos Horrific, you could switch it up.
I think I'll keep.
I think yeah.
Fantastic.
Now for the Fantastic tier, I go
Butchered probably could stay there. Oh, really?
I go Torture.
Really?
I go Torture.
Really?
Then Bloodthirst.
Then
Red Shirt Spawn over Bloodthirst, honestly, for me.
Actually, you know what? I'm going Violence Unimagined over Butchered. And then I think we're good there.
You just love doing Butchered dirty, don't you?
I can't help that the production suffers.
Yeah, well, you don't care that about my suffering, do you?
Ricky, what do you think? Where do you think Butchered?
Well, that's a tough one.
I mean, I think it's fine where it is because I have to judge production on a lot of it.
But the production on like the
You're sounding like a kid. They're like
the production's not the best, but it doesn't ruin the album. It's fine. It's fine.
Honestly, I probably better than Violence Unimagined, personally.
Yes.
Look right there,
Fine.
perfect.
All right, and then for perfection, I say we go Bleeding Kill Tomb.
Yeah,
That's fair. I agree with that.
So there you go. After a lot of arguing, there's our rough Cannibal Corpse ranking. Not my personal ranking. That's a video's already been made.
Whoa. JC Jane won the NXT Women's title.
Well, she beat Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, she beat her.
I guess.
Oh, domestic violence.
Probably want Stephanie Vaquer to come up to the main
Probably
roster soon.
Yeah, she's main roster bound. Wow, that quick.
Which it's like, man, I feel like they're kind of culling a lot of the NXT ladies right now. It's like, are you sure you want to do this quick?
I mean, look, Roxanne's ready.
Well, Roxanne was beyond ready. Julia, honestly, I thought they brought her up maybe too soon. And I think Vaquer it's too soon.
Unless they're going to do probably like a couple more months. Probably win the title back. Or, hell, what if she's in Money in the Bank? She could qualify for Money in the Bank and have her in the match.
Let's do Death albums.
Can we just say all of them?
Yeah, perfection? Can we just go all of them perfect?
Yeah,
well, I mean, they're not all perfect, but we'll get to it.
But still, in terms of like,
but they're all fantastic albums.
I know, but in terms of a perfect discography, that's like
probably the best discography of any. Here we go, Death album. We got them all. Okay, so let's make it perfectly clear. I don't see any album going below A or B tier. C and D tier, honestly, I'm just going to remove those.
Yeah.
Because there's no bad album. They're all amazing. But anyways, Scream Bloody Gore.
For me, I'd say A.
For me, A. Yeah, A tier.
It's a phenomenal debut, but in comparison to some of the albums coming up later...
But dude, Evil
hard.
Dead is such a killer song. Zombie
Baptized in Blood.
Regurgitated Guts.
God, when I saw Left to Die, that was the song they finished with Evil Dead. I was like, yeah, it's Evil. Shit.
Leprosy.
Top.
Yes. Top. Yeah.
Arguably like the first like true death metal album, because I feel like every death metal band that followed took little pieces of this album with them.
Yeah, every mellow death, every tech death, every brutal death,
Even every Death Doom,
Doom,
arguably.
Black and Death,
Death
Death
Doom.
Doom, Prog Death.
Dude, pull the plug alone. Choke on it.
Oh my god.
Left to
Left
die.
to
Pull the plug.
Alright, so next up, spiritual healing. A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only very minor gripe I have about the album is that maybe Chuck's vocals were maybe just a hair out front too much
Little
over
bit,
the
yeah.
other instruments, but still the mix is great.
It's not, like, in terms of, like, their more technical era, I don't think it's necessarily their strongest, but it's still a damn good album.
Yeah. Human.
For me, this is a top-tier album.
Top tier.
This is my favorite Death album, personally. Minus Cosmic Sea, it's a killer album.
Cosmic Sea is one of the greatest instrumentals of all time.
It's
next
a
to Orion.
boring-ass instrumental. It sounds like a Cynic demo.
And is that a problem, though? Is that a problem?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, in fact, a problem. I don't like Cynic, so I don't like it on here.
Shame.
It's also, well, I mean,
Yay.
the God of Thunder cover is
Yay.
also really fucking cheesy.
Anyways.
It's a bonus song. It's
It's a bonus song, but it's a dumb song regardless. It should not have happened. It should have stayed in the vault forever.
Anyways, kids, calm down. I have to be the dad now. I'm not used to this responsibility. Alright, next up, individual thought patterns. Personally, for me, I want to go S tier, but I'll settle for A.
The production is not the best. Honestly, in terms of production, I think this might be their worst sounding album. It's kind of thin, especially the guitars, I feel like.
It's their most angry album because Chuck was pissed off at the record label. Honestly,
It's also the transitional album, kind of, because this is kind of like the perfect bridge between
Human
and symbolic.
Yeah. And Angela Rock. Oh,
Yep. Dude, The Philosopher is like one of the best Death songs.
Oh god, that's
I
one of my
love
personal
Destiny and
Trapped in a Corner. Oh,
The acoustic opening to Destiny is beautiful, and that Death Doom start to Out of Touch is just monstrous. And then, of course, the solo on Trapped in a Corner is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Symbolic. There's
Symbolic.
top.
Yeah.
In terms of their prog era, this is the best of the bunch, and it's my personal favorite Death album.
Well, it's not just proggy. It's also, like, I would argue this album was, like, hugely influential in mellow Death as well, because there's great melodies all over it. Like, dude, Sacred Serenity, Crystal Mountain, Perennial Quest.
Crystal Mountain might be my personal favorite Death song of all time. Like, that's got like almost everything Death ever did into one song. And then even the closer, Perennial Quest, with a beautiful acoustic and solo harmony at the end was wonderful.
Yeah, because this was in 95, and you can also blame or credit Carcass's hard work for kind of like melodic death metal.
I mean,
eventually,
Hard Work was the album that started mellow Death.
Yeah,
I mean,
to a degree.
Skydancer did come out like a month before Hard Work did. So.
Well, and then also Necroticism was kind of there too. Even though there was still heavier moments on it, it was still quite mellow Death too.
Even Dismembered, because even though they're very death metal forward, they're very melodic too.
And honestly, I say let's just kill the argument. Say Left Hand Path's the first real mellow Death album.
Yeah, kind of, because
or even Spiritual Healing. You could say
in a way,
because there was a lot of melody on there.
Yeah, because it was 2 years, maybe a year after Symbolic came out, that the Gothenburg scene was starting to
exploding because of Dark Tranquility and At the Gates in Flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, 1995, that was when Slaughter of the Soul and The Gallery came out.
And then a year later would be Jester Race.
Yeah, and Black Earth by Arch Enemy, too.
Yeah, and then you also in Finland, you have Insomnium starting to slowly coming back. Well,
Amorphous also began experimenting with more mellow Death, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, and then Sound of Perseverance, while it's B tier, it's still phenomenal.
Yeah. The only issue I have with this album is that the
The
majority of the
vocals
songs
aren't the best.
well, besides the vocals, is that the majority of the songs were supposed to be another
Control
Control Deny
Denied, yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Yep.
But still, it's
But
still,
still,
a really
It's still great.
still
It's
amazing.
still great.
Still amazing.
Spirit
There will be
Crusher
times
alone.
Flesh and the Power It Holds. The song Voice of the Soul, one of the most beautiful songs ever.
Oh
That's
god,
the best Death instrumental.
I would
one of
agree
the
on
best.
that, yeah.
Sorry, Cosmic
Yeah.
C.
I mean, I love Cosmic Sea, but Voice of the Soul is the best.
Dude, the opening track, Scavenger of Human Sorrow, is like a perfect opener.
A Story to Tell is very underrated.
Story to Tell, yeah.
And a fun cover of Painkiller, too.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like,
It's
musically, they nail it. The vocals, not my strong suit, but the music is pretty much spot on.
I don't mind the vocals, but they are just very high pitched. I would have liked to hear him have a bit more variety in his vocals. Personally,
Well, I mean, Chuck was one to never really sing. He was always a screamer, growler kind of.
well, in
guy.
Control Deny, he did a bit of singing, but yeah.
But that was mostly Tim Amar. I think that's his name. That was. All right, let's try Morbid Angel.
This should be easy, I feel like.
This should be easy.
All right, I'm gonna immediately start Altars Madness. That's a top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to.
Arguably one of the top 5 greatest death metal albums of all time.
That
I
number
would
6
say
on
the
my
second
list.
best. I
It's
would
definitely
say
not
number
6 on
2.
my list.
Yeah, definitely not number 6 on my list of Morbid Angel. Sorry, John. Not sorry. I know you say it's not number 6 anymore, but why wouldn't you put at least a 2 above Gateways to Annihilation? But
Your pain is all self-inflicted, John.
At least top 3. You know?
It's not like, dude, it's better than Domination. Like, come on, dude.
anyways, before we keep going down that rabbit hole, so Blessed are the Sick.
Production is a bit of an issue.
I put it at B.
The vocals are definitely way too high in the mix, I feel like.
Yeah, but the songs are incredible on there.
The Ancient Ones,
Yeah.
All
that
from
song is
Grace.
so killer.
Day
Rebel Lands.
Day of Suffering.
Day of Suffering. The title
Dude,
track.
Speaking of beautiful instrumentals, Desolate Ways is absolutely beautiful.
And Doomsday Celebration. That is a sinister lead into Day of Suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Covenant. That's another top.
Yeah, no question.
It's definitely between it and Altars for the best of the bunch.
Best of the
That's
David Vince era, for sure.
Yeah. I would
Dude,
say
God
best
of,
overall. But...
God of Emptiness. Oh my God, that song is so amazing.
That music video alone. God.
World of Shit is an awesome song. Blood on My Hands. Sworn to the Black.
Angel of Disease is my favorite on the album. And maybe my favorite Morbid Angel song overall.
I don't know what the hell Morbid Angel was snorting at the time, but god damn.
Snort more of it.
Some Trey must have been doing.
Uh-huh.
Alright, next up, Domination.
I'd say
B.
I've always been of the opinion that Domination would have been a really good EP. But as an album, it's just got some dumb tracks on it. Like Hate Work is garbage. Caesar's Palace, garbage. The interludes are just pointless. They're too long. They don't add anything. But the amazing songs are so damn good. Like Dawn of the Angry, This Means War, Where the Slime Live. So for me, again, it could have been a really...
Here's to Here. Yeah.
It could have been like one of the best metal releases of all time had they just trimmed off the fat, but they didn't.
Formula's Fatal to the Flesh. That's an A.
It's. I think it's the heaviest Morbid Angel album. Like
and the
it's
best
just,
of the Steve Tucker era, I would say.
I would argue Gateways is better, but I do love Formulas though.
I mean, also not just for Invocation of the Continuum, Covenant of Death, Nothing Is Not, Umalama Hari, even Hellspawn was a fun thrasher on there. I mean, just holy hell. Even though the final 3 songs, the final 3 interludes, just scrap those. If they'd scrapped those, I would have easily gone S tier.
Hymn to a Gas Giant is a really cool
Hymn to a
instrumental.
Gas Giant is a great instrumental. For 1 minute of Trey exploring his guitar ability, leading into Invocation. Alright, now the Gateways. That's another easy A.
Personally, for me, I would put Gateways in S tier. This was like my favorite of the Steve Tucker era. I love it personally. Like, yeah, like, first of all, album cover. Honestly, I think that's my favorite album art Morbid Angel did. Personally, I like, honestly, some of Morbid Angel's album covers are kind of shit, honestly, but
yeah,
I think that's their best one personally. It's between that and Altars of Madness.
Yeah.
Because the others,
I do like the Blessed album cover.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, I don't even think.
I mean, that's a famous
they just
painting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Okay, a bit of a tangent. It kind of annoys me when bands do that, honestly, when they just take famous paintings and use it as their album arts, because it's just kind of like, what are you doing?
Well, then again, that's the majority of metal bands.
I guess.
Of metal bands.
Or it's like when Rotting Christ did it for their last album. It's just kind of like, really? That's just kind of lazy, in my opinion, especially since so many other metal bands have used that artwork that they use. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But it fits for their...
I guess, yeah. But I love it.
Alright, Heretic, I'll go D. There's a couple of songs I do like on it, but obviously the production...
Terrible.
No,
Terrible.
Absolutely not. Like, I like Enshrined by Grace. I think that's actually a really good song.
Carl Sanders could not save this album.
Don't even need to discuss.
Yeah.
No.
And then Kingdom Sustained, I go D as well.
Yeah.
Just such a mediocre, like, comeback album. Like, it's so, they just played it so safe, and it's just so boring.
And one of their worst production jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like, Eric Rutan, what did you do?
I've actually met somebody who said that was their best album, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
What?
Hell, I even know someone who thinks that Elude Divinum is their best album. I'm like, what are you smoking?
I mean, Michael Ockerfeld liked Elude. I think it's really good. I thought it was very interesting. I now live hardcore radical now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was
Maniac's crying now because he does not feel hardcore radical.
I am going to start crying.
And it's crazy.
I blame Nick for that.
And it's crazy to think that Illusionary Anus, when they came out, I think it sold on its opening weekend like 10,000 copies plus, or 100,000 copies, and then everyone was like, nope. Tried to return it.
And like Nick even said to Maniac and I on a stream recently that one video they did where they got like the big care package from Season of Mist, and John got Elude back after he said, I threw it out the window, only to get it back, and they actually talked to the people at Season of Mist. They're like, yeah, we got a lot of copies left. We just need to get rid of them.
You could still find an original copy for like
$5 or less.
And yet they decided to reissue it.
What? Why?
Yeah. I mean,
I guess for the 10 people on planet Earth that don't just use that album as a coaster?
I mean, for the 5 people who actually enjoy the album, I'm like, eh.
Yeah, for the 5 people who smoked enough weed to absolutely fry their brain and deprive themselves of anything resembling good taste. What about...
Oh, we already did.
Yeah, what about Deicide albums?
Oh, yeah.
Check Deicide.
Since we're on just like old school Florida death metal.
Studio albums.
Alright, then we got basically the same format as Cannibal Corpse.
There we go.
First album, Deicide, that's an easy top tier.
In terms of Deicide, that's a perfect album.
Yeah.
And then Legion. That's another top tier.
It's my least favorite of their 90s stuff, but who cares? What?
Once Upon
the Cross, though, that is my favorite Deicide album. So
same with me. That's the first one that got me into Deicide.
Yeah, same.
I am gonna go out on a limb and say I think their 20th most overrated album.
Yeah,
It's
is.
I still
It
like
is.
it. I
No.
still love it, but comparing it to the first two,
It's better than Legion.
Come on. No, not,
Yes, it is. Yes, it
even-
is.
no. Even I know it's not even better than Legion. Even I
Come
know
on, it's better than Legion. It's better.
it's not better than Legion, and I
Yes.
love Once Upon a Cross. I love that album, but even I know it cannot go against Legion or the Subtile debut.
Tons of albums can go against Legion. What do you mean?
if only Nick were here.
Oh,
Yes.
if Nick here, he would have laid down the law.
Yeah,
He would have
anyways.
technically-
He would have
Anyways.
crucified me.
Anyway, Serpents of the Light.
Fantastic. Come on.
I'll actually go fantastic because honestly, I like it almost as much as I like Upon the Cross.
Honestly, I like it more than Legion. Still.
Now these are the 4 albums every DSF fan who wants to get into, get them, because
Yes.
after
Yes.
this
It's a mixed
gonna
bag.
be bumpy. It's a
And you
mixed
know
bag.
what? Actually, hang on.
And I'm gonna add a trash tier.
Blah.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh. Why does it do that for on this godforsaken website?
Yep.
yeah,
Those two albums
yeah,
are flat out
yeah.
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing on
There's
them
a
that's
couple.
good.
Well, there's 1 or 2 songs on Incinerate 'Em that aren't bad, but everything about In Torment and Hell is garbage.
I see. For kind of the funny thing is, a lot of people like criticize Deicide because they write, oh, their lyrics are all the same, just like fuck God, I hate God, and all this. But it's like on those albums, he tried to write lyrics about different stuff, and they were arguably even worse.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he wrote-
like Glenn Floud says, he has a hard time writing lyrics that aren't anti-Christian.
Like he flat out, like he wrote lyrics about like his divorce and stuff, and it's like, oh my fucking God, that is cringy.
What does he think?
What,
Who
did
does
he-
he think he is? Cam Lee?
Yeah, like hate you forever.
Yes,
honestly, him.
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
What is it, Cam Lee?
Ugh.
Well, then again, I think the only album. Well, then again, I don't know if you think might be good. The X Factor, since Steve kind of wrote about his divorce.
At least
At
he
the
came
time.
up. At least he wrote the lyrics in a
Yeah.
more clever way about it.
Yeah,
not
And,
just
well,
like,
it wasn't
hate
even
you.
subject matter. It
Real
was just
stupid.
it was just the inspiration behind some of the darker
Mhm,
lyrics,
yeah.
as opposed to actually writing about it. Glenn,
Mhm.
Cam. Anyways, Scars on the Crucifix.
I think it's good,
Yeah, it's a good album. The
okay.
production's not
Yeah,
the best.
but it's got some good songs on it. It's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
better than.
Conquered
Yeah,
by
we do.
Sodom, the title track. Especially the solo on the title track.
I gotta say, in terms of album cover, that's one of the ones that I actually first saw from Deicide. I mean, that came out in what, 2004?
04. And
Yeah,
it was the
literally
last album with the Hoffman brothers on guitars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was the same year Passion of the Christ came out. Coincidence? I think not.
Anyway, Stench of Redemption, that's a top tier
Yes.
for me.
Better than
That-
Once Upon the Cross.
I think it's better than Once Upon the Cross.
That's a take.
Now that, that's better than
Because
Once Upon a Cross.
I like the guitar work and the production. Well, okay, maybe not so much. The guitar work, I think, is better on Stench than Once Upon the Cross. And also, The Lord's Sedition, the closer, my personal favorite Deicide song of all
I
time.
will concede that it is the best post-90s material.
The best of the post-90s. Till
Yep.
Death Do Us Part.
Fuck off. Dude, this song sucks. It sucks. It's just as bad as the other two. It's bad.
Ricky.
Not the one I usually would go to
Me
spend for
neither.
Deicide.
It's
Honestly,
bad. It's flat out bad. It's like they tried to do like Death Doom, kinda, and it's turds. Turds come out.
To Hell with God. It's okay.
Yeah.
okay. I mean, honestly, one of the most forgettable albums.
Yeah.
It's really forgettable.
I agree.
In the Minds of Evil, I think is great. I think it's the second
Yeah.
best of the post '90s era.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
getting again a little bit more melodic play going on too.
Yeah.
And I think it was the last album with Jack Owen on guitar.
I feel like
I-
I feel like Glenn's time in Vital Remains kind of influenced the later Deicide albums for sure.
In terms of adding more melody to the
Melody,
songs.
yeah.
Overtures of Blasphemy, it's decent.
It's okay. To me, this one's also just pretty forgettable, in all honesty. I really don't remember much from this album.
And then Banished by Sin, even though it's the worst album cover of their career,
I gotta say,
musically,
great.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
thrashy.
Despite the AI
Bullshit.
album cover, it's a kind of a bit of a return, you know?
A return kind of back to their '90s roots a little.
Yeah.
Like
A little
very
bit.
thrashy and like
But
more
still very
churchy.
melodic in some spots.
Almost like a mixture of the first four and Stench of Redemption and In the Minds of Evil, like all mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note, guys, I gotta leave. Dinner's about to get ready, so see you guys on the next one. See ya.
Nice.
Bye,
See ya,
Ricky.
Ricardo.
Bye. See ya.
So it's just you and me.
And again. Let's go Mastodon.
Like
Which
Master
One of my
Dawn. Master D-O-N-G, am I right? Master Dawn.
Master Dong. Mastodon's studio albums, does it have everything? No, it doesn't have.
You and I, okay, I will say, oh, this has like all their EPs and stuff
Which
too.
I won't.
I will
And-
say right off the bat, you and I are
Hang on
going
a
to
second.
disagree
What
hard.
about this one? No, it still doesn't have Hush. About this one. Oh, what the fuck? Why don't any of these include Hushed and Grim? Okay, maybe this one.
2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, we got it. And there's less EPs, but we still won't.
I will
Well,
say
let's go start at the beginning with Remission.
now, personally, for me, I think Remission's an S tier album. I love Remission. I think it's their heaviest album, without a doubt. Like
Easily their heaviest. Well,
it's their groovy.
There's one other one I think that comes up in a little bit that I think would be just as heavy. To a
But, dude,
degree.
I mean, come on, dude. Trainwreck, March of the Fire Ants, Mother Puncher. Oh, it's riffy.
Crusher
I
Destroyer.
I wouldn't say it's like a sludge album, but it's definitely got sludge influences. Like you can
It's
definitely
like
hear
prog sludge.
groove prog sludge. Like you can definitely
Yeah.
hear the Melvins and like Neurosis influence all over it. They actually met at
High on
the-
Fire show.
yeah, which thank you Matt Pike for
Helping
everything.
creating one of the greatest metal bands of today. There you go.
now Leviathan.
Leviathan? That's
Yes.
S tier.
This is my favorite Mastodon album.
My number 2.
It's my clear cut number one, dude. Like Blood and Thunder, obviously that
Yes.
song's incredible.
CB, Iron Tusk.
Hearts Alive.
Yep.
Uh,
Perfect prog metal album for 2004.
I Am Ahab. Every single song, awesome.
Now this one, Blood Mountain, I could make the argument it's just as heavy as Remission at times. Like there are some bludgeoning songs on there, like Rufus
Yeah.
Loose, Crystal Skull. But if it were me, I'd go S tier as well. But I'll go A tier. I do think I agree, it's a mini masterpiece because Colony of Birchmen. I think it was it. Blood and Thunder and Oblivion were the first 3 Mastodon songs I ever heard. And then obviously Sleeping Giant on Blood Mountain was kind of a perfect transition to what they were going to become on
Yeah.
the next album. And it's a
Blood Mountain was-
fantastic song.
Blood Mountain was the transitional album. It was kind of where you started to get little hints of more melody and kind of the
And getting more
sing-songiness.
progressive, even
More-
more than
yeah.
the first 2.
Less sludge, more prog.
Yeah. But still, plenty of brutal riffs on there.
Yeah, for sure. I do really like that album.
And then Crack the Sky, my personal favorite, not only Mastodon album, but my personal favorite prog metal album of all time.
I mean, I'm not even necessarily like the biggest prog metal fan, but I have to give my props. This is a really good album.
This is classic of modern day metal.
Like, dude,
I mean,
the first time where Braun did vocals, and like
Vocals
he is such an incredible singer.
and the drummer to boot.
Man, he's an insane drummer. Like, him doing all those fucking crazy fills and stuff while singing is insane.
Yeah. And I seen it live, and it was amazing. Now I got the itch to want to see them play live again.
Like, Oblivion is a killer song. The Last Baron is awesome.
The title track with Scott Kelly in there, too.
Mm-hmm. Which Scott Kelly was on, like, most of their albums.
Every album except for the last one.
Yeah.
And Remission. I don't think he was on Remission.
No, I don't think so either.
So basically everything from Leviathan to Emperor of Sand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Part of, which is really cool.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll go ahead and preface, I don't think you're going to see an album C or D tier, if you ask me.
Honestly, you could get rid of those tiers, because I don't think...
It'd be the same. It's basically the same thing as Death. Like, every album is fantastic to some
Mastodon really don't have a bad album.
And I don't see them ever having a bad album. Hell, I can't wait for the next one whenever that happens. Even though no Brent Hines in the band, which I can tell that's probably going to be a missing element considering his lead work was always great.
Especially since he was such an integral part of the band since the inception.
But whoever they do get to be a permanent guy, I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Yeah.
After all, it's mostly been Troy, Braun, and Bill kind of carrying the weight recently.
Yeah.
We shall see. The Hunter... still say B, but I still love it, even though it's the big shift to more accessible sound, but still proggy, still got some sludge in there.
It's definitely
also kind of stonery too.
I think it's their most divisive album. Like, this is like the one Mastodon album where it's like you either love it or you're like,
or you like it, or you like it but don't love it. Like, I don't think there's anybody that says, "Oh, this album sucks." I hate this album.
But it's still got some really good songs on it, like "Curl of the Burrow,"
Blasteroid,
"Stargasm."
The title track I love as being like a dirge on there.
Well, yeah, because that's like the song was dedicated to the
Brent Hines' brother.
Yeah. Which, man, a lot of tragedy in these guys.
Dry Bones Valley. Such a catchy song, and yet again, I don't get why that wasn't a big radio hit.
It's definitely much more accessible, but it's still got heavy elements.
It's still plenty heavy, for sure. Same with Once More Around the Sun, which in my opinion is their weakest, but it's not that weak. It's just in comparison to everything else, it's tough, but still got song. Motherload.
Yeah.
High Road. Diamond in the Witch House.
Yeah.
Still got some good songs on there.
Asleep in the Deep.
Not their strongest, but still a decent enough song.
Well, I mean, the chorus is kind of...
The chorus is the only...
But the rest of the song, I think, is killer.
Emperor of Sand.
Personally, for me, this is probably my least favorite Mastodon album. Just because I feel like this is probably where... I feel like some of this got a little too accessible in spots. Like, honestly, some of this is like flat out radio rock.
Some, but
show yourself. That's
I love like Show Yourself. I mean, such a fun. Yeah, it's kind of got an 80s pop vibe. It's almost like a. I hate to say it. It almost sounds like their attempt at a Ghost song.
It sounds like,
but it's fun.
It honestly sounds like an alternative rock song. Like, this sounds like something that would be on like an alt rock station. But I mean, still got good songs on it, like Jaguar God, is that what it's called?
Steam Breather, Jaguar God, Steam Breather. I saw them play that live, and there's fun triplet chugger stomper on there.
Like, I would honestly I would personally rather listen to The Hunter than the.
Well, what I will say about Emperor of Sand, it almost feels like this could have been the album between Crack the Sky and The Hunter. Like, it could have been like, because there are still some proggy bits on Emperor of Sand, but obviously with the more accessible songs, they could have put that album in between Crack the Sky and The Hunter, and it would have felt like a much smoother transition
yeah,
into
kinda,
Hunter
yeah,
and
yeah.
once more around the sun. And then finally, Hushed and Grim, double disc masterpiece.
Yeah, I think I like Hush and Groove because I feel like it got back to the heaviness a little.
Got back to the heaviness and
Even
still
like a little
very
bit more of
proggy.
the doomy elements kind of come back a little bit too on this one.
Like there's plenty of doom on here. And also, their saddest album in terms of the lyrics and the atmosphere. Like, especially if you listen to the songs like Skeletons of Splendor and all Had It All, those two songs. And especially Had It All, like Troy crooning on there, and also his mom doing a beautiful French horn section on that song. But man, some of the heft on here, like Pushing the Tides. I forget the name of the opener on disc 1. And I was just listening to it the other day, too. Oh, what's that song called? Pain with Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Great opener on disc 1, and then disc 2 with Peace and Tranquility. That was a great song. Gobblers of Dregs for their longest cut on there was awesome. Just Sickle and Peace. I mean, top to bottom, it's a perfect double album. Sure. And it's got me hopeful for whatever comes next.
I enjoy a side of Sickle with peas for sure.
And now to arrange, I think B is perfect the way it is.
I want to keep Remission at the top of A personally. I love
I'll
Remission.
compromise. I'll put it 4th because I think Blood Mount should go above Remission, but I'll keep Remission above Hushed and Grim.
And well, the other two, well, they're both our favorites, so yeah.
You could go either or. And
they're both 10 out of 10, really.
No doubt. No doubt about
it. Yeah.
No doubt. Right. Oh, let's see. I got a...
Los Antelope is just dead.
Oh, yeah, I'll get to that. Mellow Death or Brutal Death? See, that's tough for me because there's plenty of bands in Mellow Death I love, plenty of Brutal Death bands I love, but I have big criticisms about both. Well, depending on where the bands are from, like what region of the world. Like with Brutal Death, if the well, it's not really a vocal problem, it's mostly if you get that ringy piccolo snare and nothing but just a pig squeal, which I like pig squeals, but not if it's just the entire song of pig squeals and no lyrics.
Yeah.
And then Mellow Death, it just depends on like the band again, like, and what they're doing. Like if there's perhaps like too much of the "we can do it" kind of vibe, like most recent Arch Enemy albums.
If it has enough of its own identity too, because I find a lot of Mellow Death just kind of
sounds,
especially
similar.
More newer Mellow Death, just apes like In Flames and At the Gates, and really doesn't do much to stand on its own 2 feet.
Well, if there is one band that is kind of aping At the Gates, but actually putting their spin on it's that band Upon Stone. Like, they're almost kind of mixing At the Gates with Entombed and Dismember, because they got the HM2 tone, but turning it into, like, almost like At the Gates worship, but also adding a tiny bit of thrash and a little hardcore in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that album that they had their debut last year, really, really good stuff. And then also, it depends on the kind of Mellow Death. Like, I like my Mellow Death either proggy or heavier and somber sounding. So,
or what about like the heavier, like more kind of like,
and the heavier Mellow Death bands.
It's called like brutal Mellow Death, almost like intestine embolism, stuff like that.
Vehemence and to a degree Hypocrisy could fit in that a bit.
Kinda. Well, I feel
they
like
are really heavy for a Mellow Death band.
Yeah, and like Grenadier and stuff like that, or Argos Lent.
Yeah, or in, like I said, in the proggy sense, like To a Degree, At the Gates, Edge of Sanity, obviously, In Mourning.
Opeth, even.
First 2 albums, yeah.
Well, I feel like My Arms Your Hers and even Still Life are very melodic too.
Yeah, but not in like a mellow death vibe.
I feel like they got enough mellow death.
It's more like I think it's more like
qualify.
proggy melody as opposed to like a mellow death melody with a prog songwriting.
If it's a death metal band with a melody, it's got mellow death. That's not how it works.
And then, of course, the heavier and somber mellow death, like Insomnium being the big one. Insomnium and yeah, and then of course like the ones that mix it in with Doom, like Swallow the Sun and My Dying Bride,
Paradise
Catatonia. Lost. Well, Paradise Lost, I wouldn't even consider their stuff like mellow death Doom. Like early on, I would say it was straight up death Doom.
Well, early on, I feel like later.
Like the first two albums. The other recent stuff, well, even at that, I don't even know if I could really... It's say more like mixing it with their mid-90s gothic metal sound.
Well, goth metal, mellow death doom, kind of mixture of all three, I feel like. Anyways, what about...
Dark Throne.
I feel like after this one, we should do like a non-metal list.
Non-metal list?
Yeah.
Dark Throne albums 2025, so we got it.
This is going to be interesting because
this is going to be interesting because they are all over the map.
Yeah.
All right, so kicking off with their only death metal album, Soulside Journey.
I give it an A tier.
I go A tier.
It's such an underrated album.
Brilliant.
Like, the Watchtower.
Death metal, yeah.
Sempiternal.
Sepulchrality. Yeah. Cromlech. Sunrise over Locus Mortis. Hell, even Eon, the closing instrumental. I mean, like, top to bottom, it's such a great... You could almost call this tech death to a degree.
It's fucking...
Like
it's
proto-tech death with an HM2 tone.
Like, dude, the production of this album, I think, is stellar.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Thomas Skogsberg and Uffe Sutherland.
Yep, from Entombed, of course.
Blazing Northern Sky, top.
My favorite Dark Throne album.
My favorite album, too.
But
I mean,
dude,
in my opinion, the perfect Norwegian black metal album.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, no. Like, arguably, you could argue, like, the first true black metal album to some degree.
Norway, yeah.
But there's still a lot of debate about that, I know. But it's so damn good.
Under a Funeral Moon.
For me, this is another S tier album. I love this album. Yeah,
I like it. I'll go A tier as a compromise.
Yeah, it's much more raw. It's much more raw. I get some people don't like the production on it, but dude, like that's the point of this type of black metal. It's meant to sound raw and evil and cold and grim, and for that, it's a perfect style. Really. It's the unholy trinity for a reason.
Well, I can definitely say I prefer it over the next one, Transylvanian Hunger, which I'll be nice and put it in B.
I'd put it in A, personally. It is my least favorite of the unholy trinity. It's kind of like the one album I avoided, like when I was getting into Dark Throne, just because it was the most raw of the three and kind of the most intimidating for someone, because when I got into Dark Throne, I was still like very new to black metal.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the most intimidating album to like get across, but I do still love it. I mean, the title track is like one of the greatest black metal songs ever. So
that's really the only song I would care to listen to off of it. I'm one of those like Nick that is like it's just the same blast beat on the entire album. It's like change it up.
And we can also acknowledge that you're wrong. So let's just move it on.
Anyways, Panzerfaust, top.
Yeah.
I mean,
drunken Celtic frost worship.
Yep, and you can't go wrong with it.
Like, dude, it's thrashy, it's doomy, it's
everything. Yeah. Total Death, I'll go B because there are songs I do really like.
Yeah.
Like especially Earth's Last Picture, that's another Celtic frost worship song.
Yeah, we're gonna skip Goat Lord, or
no, we're gonna include Goat Lord, which will be.
I think it's the worst Dark Throne album easily.
I think there's one maybe worse. If not, I will agree.
It's just leftover demos from their death metal days with the worst production,
with the worst vocals.
Yeah, the weird like
them all.
female vocals, totally unnecessary.
Yeah, well, thank God they did a version of this that was released a couple of years ago. Of the Go Lord demos where there's no vocals, and it's a little bit better in terms of production the way they did it. But even still, I mean, of course, you're not going to expect it to be a good production because it's a demo.
Yeah.
Well, and also, musically, I would argue some of the stuff's on par with Soulside Journey, but also adding in a little bit of autopsy worship to.
I mean, pretty much, too. It was just like it was like a contractually obligated release because like the label's like, hey, you guys need to put something out.
Satyr wanted something.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, and like, hey, we have these old demos that are shitty, and they're like, okay, put that out. Make me money.
Ravishing Grimness.
I put an A.
Yeah,
I love it, personally.
I love Ravishing Grimness.
Like, I think this is like a perfect blend of like Panzerfaust and like kind of like they're later.
Recently to a degree.
Yeah, like kind of the more classic heavy metal worship. A lot of Motorhead all over this album.
A little bit of punk too.
Just yeah, but
sprinkling.
I love it personally.
Yeah, Pause of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Song. Plague Wielder. I go C.
Honestly, I put it in D. This album is so boring to me. I can't think of a single track on here that I honestly like. It's just there, really. Like what is a song on there that's actually like stand out? I can't even think of one.
I can't remember all the songs off the top of my head, but go back and find out just to be sure. I guess maybe the one song that I might like is Weakling Avenger.
I get that sounds
like it's not the best. Or even I Void Hangers.
What's up, James?
Oh yeah. James. Alright, Hate Them.
I think Hate Them is pretty good. I like it.
It's solid. I'll go B.
Like it's kind of more punky, but it's not like the full-blown punk stuff quite yet.
Nah.
Like it's like Ravishing Grimness, like but punkier.
But not really punk. I wouldn't necessarily say punkier, but more raw. Like kind of like if Ravishing Grimness had a bit of the production of Blaze in the Northern Sky.
Kinda, but with a little bit of more punk in it. Than I feel like
Sardonic Wrath. I go A. I think
honestly,
I like it way more than Hate Them because I actually like the production on Sardonic Wrath more, and also I like how the songs kind of go back even more to like Panzerfaust and A Blaze in the Northern Sky.
Honestly, I probably would like Sardonic Wrath a little bit more, but to me they're about on par for me. They're both equal.
Cult is Alive.
Honestly, we should just I would say we throw all the punk albums into
not all of them. Not all of them.
Well, the first three.
We'll get to some. Well, FOAD, yes, I will agree. I like it more than Cult is Alive.
It's a dumb album, honestly.
Now, Dark Thrones and Black Flags, I'm torn between B and C. I think in terms of the three punk era albums, it's easily the best.
I'll compromise.
And I actually think it's good, but I'll go C.
I mean, yeah, I'll compromise and say C. These three albums are all kind of the same for me. I don't really care for any of them.
Now, Circle the Wagons,
Circle the Wagons I do enjoy.
Circle the Wagons, like, not really much punk to it. Like, yeah, a little bit. It's more like a speed metal album.
Yeah, this is where they started to move towards, like, more classic metal. Yeah. Yeah,
this was like the big transition between the crust punk and the classic metal. Maybe the Stylized Corpse. I
Am the Graves of the 80s.
That is such a fun song.
Yeah.
That is so fun. Even the music on I Am the Working Class is great, even if the lyrics aren't the best.
Yeah.
Black Mountain Totem, Braun Inte Slottet. Great little closer that's like Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Underground Resistance. I go A on this one.
Honestly, yeah. Like, dude, that's
fucking amazing classic heavy metal worship. Like Iron Maiden.
The vocals are a bit
weird. but I love them because they're just so fun.
Like, there's even like a lot of like thrashiness on this album. Like, there's honestly like some Slayer riffs on there.
There's some Doom on here. There's
a lot of
like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest worship, and then you get to Leave No Cross Unturned. It sounds like Agent Steel meets Celtic Frost.
Yeah, dude, that song is a fucking ripper.
Yeah, the longest song in their career, and it's one of their top 10 best. Arctic Thunder?
I'd say B.
Yeah, B. I feel like they were trying to get back a little bit to a black metal route, but I think they tried too hard on it. That's always been my issue with it. But the songs are really good for what they were going for.
It's kind of like it's them getting back to black metal, but
not really black metal. More just like adding the vocals back while on top of, and also sludgier songs.
Yeah, it's
like
more that first
Crowbar
wave sound, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like the '80s, like proto black,
like kind of Celtic vibe. Frost and Venom and all that. Old Star for me,
I'm going S.
Okay, yeah, no.
S. I think in terms of the modern era, this is the best of that run.
Honestly, it's their doomiest album.
Their doomiest and even to a degree thrashiest, because
there's honestly stuff on this album that reminds me of like Candle Mass in some spots, or even like yeah.
And then what the hell? Alpman, like that. The riffs on Alpman remind me of Metallica and Megadeth.
Hardship of the Scots is such a banger.
Even though that riff is essentially "Let Me Put My Love Into You" by AC/DC, but with extra
who cares?
notes.
It's so
but
fun.
Who cares? And I love that AC/DC song. That's my personal favorite AC/DC song from Back in Black. And they play it, but in a grittier, sleazier way, and it's amazing.
Well, it's like they took that AC/DC riff and sprinkled a bunch of Black Sabbath on it.
Oh yeah, and then the closer, forgot the name. Closer.
What's the name of the poser? The poser is you.
Shut up. It's been a bit since I've listened to Old Star.
Same.
Oh, The Key Inside the Wall. That is a brilliant closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duke of Glow, that's straight up Motorhead right there, which is
every song on this album is killer.
Eternal Hails.
Honestly,
I love this one, and I go A tier, even though the production definitely sounds even more old school than Old Star.
I like the production of this album. I like
it's like a late 70s sound.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I think the last track, Lost Arcane City of Upakra?
Yeah, little proggy, you could
kinda
say. Like early prog rock.
Especially the closing track. That's like that little bit at the end. I don't even know how to describe it. I think that was a really cool Dark Throne moment on that song in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, Hate Cloak and his master's voice are all killer too.
Astral Fortress. I love this one, but I'll go B.
I'd say B. Yeah. Same
love it.
Same with It Beckons Us All. They're
actually I would argue It Beckons Us All could go into A, kind of on par with Eternal Hails.
I don't,
because it almost sounds like it almost sounds like the perfect mix of Old Star and Eternal in terms of production. Like, it feels like it could have been released between them. But yeah, and of course Bird People of the Nordland is such a catchy song.
Yeah.
Heavy Hand, again, back to straight up Celtic Frost worship. And then even the clean melodies on the closing track, which again, I forget the fucking name of it.
For me, back when I did my
The Lone Plains of the Lost Planet.
Back when I did my review of this album, my videos were terrible. Not that much has changed, but when I read this album, I described it as like a mixture of Celtic Frost and Surf Ungle, and I still stand by that because it's doomy, but it's also got those classic heavy metal moments all over it as well.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it. Celtic Frost meets Seraphungal.
Alright, now to rearrange. So D tier.
I mean, Goat Lord's the worst.
Lord.
I would
Cult
probably
is Alive, then Plague Wielder, then FOAD.
Yeah, we got
And then, of course, Dark Throne.
Just chilling by itself.
All right, now B tier.
Transylvanian Hunger, you leave it right there. You leave it.
I'll be fair and leave it there. I guess I'll go Total Death last.
At the bottom, I'll say, honestly, I would probably put Circle the Wagons above Hate Them.
Yeah. And actually, Astral Fortress above Hate Them, too.
I put Arctic Thunder above Hate Them, honestly. I think that looks good.
And then A tier, I think we can leave it Beckons Us All there.
Yeah.
Then I would probably go Sardonic Wrath.
Yeah.
Then Eternal Hails, I think, is good there. Actually, I think
that
they're
looks
pretty
fine.
Perfect on A tier, and then S tier is perfect. So there we go.
So let's do something non-metal. What have we done? We've done fruits, we've done vegetables, we've done meats.
We've done fast food restaurants.
Which you did mostly, because I suck.
Mostly because, Canada doesn't have a lot of, like, America has for fast food. And I bet you if Canada had a lot of what we have for fast food, it'd probably be better, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, you don't have Tim. Well, I mean, we have Tim Hortons, so I think we're fine.
Well, we have Tim Hortons, too.
Yeah, but we invented it, so fuck you.
Yeah, and
I'm
not even a big Tim Hortons fan either. So.
We gave you Razor and Sacrifice and Exciter, all right? So you just shut your mouth, you filthy American. I'm kidding, of course.
All right, let's...
What about... So we've done Pixar and DreamWorks.
Yeah, we've done those. How about Nickelodeon?
I don't know any Nickelodeon stuff, so...
Probably
I never watched...
Outside of SpongeBob, probably.
Yeah, I never watched Nickelodeon, like, growing up. What about... What about, like, classic rock? Or, like, dad rock?
I got a feeling these lists are probably going to be insane.
Probably. Eurovision 20... What? No, not Eurovision, you fucker. 70s hard rock bands, only 43.
We can go.
Let's see if this one's decent. I can't even
read half of the logos. What about this one? Classic rock bands and art. Okay, this is a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so kicking off with AC/DC. I mean,
they write the same album over and over again.
But it's still great. It's still fun.
I'd say A.
Yeah.
Some of the later stuff but
isn't as memorable, but
when they were at their best.
Like everything from their first album through Back in Black, that's
their first like American album, because like the first two AC/DC albums were like only in Australia and no one really talks about them because they were kind of more like glam rock, I guess. I don't know. They're kind of weird.
Anyways, Aerosmith.
This one's tough because early Aerosmith is absolutely
70s Aerosmith is perfect.
Some of the most underrated rock and roll that there is, honestly. But the later stuff is so bad.
Very poppy, and
they basically became another Def Leppard, just poppy, bland. But just because their 70s stuff is so good, I'd say B.
Oh.
Do you know what number letters are?
The damn mouse. Alice Cooper.
And
it's like the thing with Alice Cooper, it's like it's not so much the music, it's mostly the theatrics, but still some great songs, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, still some really good albums. And we're talking about like both his like solo, because like there's the Alice Cooper band, obviously, and then there's the Alice Cooper solo. They're both really good.
Allman Brothers band.
I like the Allman Brothers quite a bit. They are kind of more of a jam band, which I know some people don't like. But they have some really strong albums, like the first two are really, really good, and like Brothers and Sisters and everything. I'll go with B. I think they're a solid band.
The Beach Boys.
I've never really been that into the Beach Boys, honestly. It's kind of, I respect them, but it's just kind of like that surfer pop kind of, you know. And they have like 1 billion albums, but you only need like 5 of them.
Yeah. The Beatles.
I'm not much of a Beatles fan, to be honest.
Me neither.
I mean, again, I respect them a lot, but it's like,
yeah, easily.
but like, blech.
Billy Joel.
Oh,
A.
oh yeah, wasn't Billy Joel recently diagnosed with like brain cancer or something?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he had to quit tour because he had some kind of problem. Oh yeah, he had a brain condition. I don't think it was brain cancer, but yeah.
Black Sabbath. First S tier.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
So,
they're
that's
the world's.
the
Yeah.
first metal band of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Oyster Cult. I honestly am gonna go S as well.
Yeah, I love Blue Oyster Cult.
I love BOC.
Like,
I need
dude,
to get more of their stuff though.
So many good albums though, like Fire of Unknown Origin, Cultosaurus Erectus,
Agents of Fortune,
Secret Treaties.
Spectres.
Yeah. Some of even the last Blue Oyster Cult album, like the one that wasn't a covers album, the one before that, I forget the name, but I thought that was really good.
Cream.
I don't really care for Cream personally.
I love Cream, like Sunshine of Your Love.
I bet you love Cream.
Their cover of Howlin' Wolf Spoonful, especially the live version when they played in Paris, where it almost sounds like you could argue the first heavy metal song is that they upped the distortion on the guitars in that jam session they do in the middle where Ginger Baker is just going wild on the drums. You'll have to watch that clip.
Ginger Baker was a fucking canoe.
But yeah, he was a douchebag, but my God, if you watch his performance
didn't he say something
song,
like, "Oh, heavy metal is an abortion or should have been aborted" or something?
Yeah.
What a fucking. All right, who's next?
CCR.
For me, this is an S tier.
Yeah,
I absolutely love this band.
Whenever a song of theirs comes on, I still can get nostalgic with it.
Dude, Willie and the Poor Boys, Cosmos Factory, Pendulum. Hell, I even like Mardi Gras, which I know some people don't like that album. I do like that album.
David Bowie.
I'll be honest, I kind of still need to get into more of David Bowie. I gotta
listen to more of like his stuff from like the 80s into the 90s.
A lot of his 80s stuff is kind of like more poppy, and I'm not
pop and new wave kind of. But like his 70s bordering prog rock kind of style.
I mean, Rebel is like one of the best rock songs ever, as far as I'm concerned.
And also, what was the Ground Control? That's fun.
To Major Tom.
To Major Tom, yeah.
What is that song? Is that song called Major Tom or?
I forget what it's called, but I know what it is when I hear it. But that's like kind of like a prog rock.
Well, yeah, his solo stuff was definitely more prog kind of.
Deep Purple.
S tier.
Yep.
Dude, like pretty much all your eras are good.
To a degree, yeah. Like even the David Coverdale stuff is pretty good.
They only have a couple that are kind of like not that great, but dude, In Rock, Burn, Perfect Strangers,
Machine
Head. Hell, the last Deep Purple album.
The last one was pretty fun too. Yeah. The Doors.
I'd say A for the Doors personally. I really like the Doors.
Baby, light my fire.
Yeah, dude, the first Doors album is really, really good. Yeah, some of their stuff is kind of weird. Like, you know, when they're kind of like not like some of their stuff is just kind of weird, but for the most part, they're a good band.
The Eagles.
C probably.
It's mainly Hotel California. That album.
I actually do like. I really like their earlier stuff. Like I like the first album and like Desperado. That's like to me. That's like when the Eagles were really a really good band. After that, they kind of became more radio rock, AOR type stuff. Still not bad, but like not the best. And frankly, I don't know if I ever need to hear Hotel California ever again. That song is just played to death.
Electric Light Orchestra. Getting proggy again.
Yeah, but it's like progressive pop almost.
Progressive pop rocks and like space pop.
Again, Mr. Blue Sky is one of the most overplayed songs ever.
But it's still
such a good song. Yeah.
I'll go B. Oh yeah, and also "Don't Bring Me Down." That's such a
Don't
fun
bring me
catch.
down, Bruce.
Elton John.
Let's say
There's songs I like, but not
I'd probably say C for Elton John. Personally, I'm not like an Elton John super fan by any
me
means.
neither. Saturday Night's alright for fighting, though. That probably.
What about that Flotsam and Jetsam cover, eh? No, the cover's that cover's stupid. I don't know why they did that. Honestly, that's like a weird thing. Thrash bands should not cover classic rock songs, all right? Let's just get that out of the way.
Well, it depends on the band.
Well, 99% of the time when a thrash band covers a classic rock song, it's trash.
Fleetwood Mac.
I'd probably say B for Fleetwood Mac. I like a lot of their stuff, like the early stuff when they were kind of more of a blues rock, psychedelic rock kind of band, and then obviously, come on, Rumors. I don't care if those songs are overplayed. That's one of the greatest albums of all time.
Genesis. I'm going S tier for Genesis.
I'm not much of a Genesis fan, I'll be honest.
I love Genesis. Both eras, the Peter Gabriel stuff and the Phil Collins stuff. Well, technically you had both of them in the band at the same time, but Phil Collins in terms of taking over the frontman position. But yeah, like I'm a bigger fan of the Peter Gabriel era stuff when they were a prog band.
They kind of became more of a pop band in the 80s.
In the 80s, obviously, but even at that, it's still good stuff. Invisible Touch, that's still a great 80s pop album. But, like, easily I prefer this early 70s prog rock stuff. Like, Supper's Ready is one of the greatest prog songs of all time. The album Selling England by the Pound is a phenomenal prog rock album with so many great songs. And hell, it was because of the song Dancing with the Moonlit Night, that guitar solo where Steve Hackett's tapping. That's why Eddie Van Halen was a tapping genius, because he learned it from Steve Hackett. Hence why Eddie Van Halen would say his two biggest inspirations, Steve Hackett for the solos and Tony Iommi for riffs. There you go.
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead. I've never been a big fan.
No, they're pretty boring. Like
Heart, though, me honestly, I go S for Heart. I have a soft spot for Heart. I mean, hell, I recently just got their self-titled 85 album.
I still need to get into Heart. Pretty much the only song I know is Barracuda, which I do like that song.
Which is an amazing song, but yeah, like Magic Man, Dreamboat Annie, Crazy on You, such a good 70s banger. And then that 85 album, you have a couple of really good ones like These Dreams and What About Love, even though it very much feels like their attempt at like hair metal, but it's not really metal, it's just more like hair rock, but they do it pretty well. And plus I love the Wilson sisters. They're the best sisterhood in music.
I mean, Ann Wilson is still a phenomenal singer.
Mm-hmm. And Nancy, a very talented guitarist.
Yeah, especially she's 70 something now.
They're both in their 70s. Jethro Tull, we're still sticking with prog. I'm torn between S and A for Jethro Tull.
I'll let you take over this one. I'm not much of a Jethro Tull guy. Again, a lot older.
Like, it's two albums I like, Aqualung and Thick as a Brick. In terms of like prog, they were a little heavier for prog rock bands.
That describes the shit I took this morning. Thick as a brick.
Like they were more towards like a harder edge prog rock band with some folk in there. Honestly, because of those two albums, I go S for Jethro Tull. And plus Ian Anderson, great singer and songwriter, and
he was on the last Opeth album.
Mm-hmm. And played his part very well on it. Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, if we're talking about, if we're ranking just his guitar playing, I'd say S tier. But if we're talking about his albums, I go A.
Yeah, because the first two Hendrix albums are pretty essential.
The first three, Electric Ladyland, is a damn solid album.
I still need to get it.
Fairly short discography. I mean, there's a bunch of like the fucking like posthumous albums that like released after his death, but like, yeah. Honestly,
I do have Electric Ladyland. I have it, and Are You Experienced?
I mean, both those albums are
classics. Both of those albums are amazing. Purple Haze is still one of my favorite 60s.
Dude, the riff on Purple Haze, that's like a proto-metal riff.
Mm-hmm.
Is this King Crimson? I don't know what that is. I've never seen this before.
It is King Crimson, so we're sticking to prog again.
Again, kind of like heavier prog, because it's like...
You could almost argue...
One of the first
prog metal bands, because you listen to 21st Century Schizoid Man 69, that's almost a prog metal song, because it's way louder and heavier than anything in 1969.
Yeah.
And then, like, I still need to get the Red album, where they pretty much kind of did go full-on 70s metal with the prog rock style. Personally, because of those albums, I'm going S again for King. I still need to get Red. That's the big album I need. Like, I have the debut and the Core to Crimson King, which I think is a masterpiece of prog.
The Kinks.
The Kinks.
I like the Kinks. They're kind of like proto-punk in a way, too. I go A for the Kinks. I think they're a solid band.
And we get to the most overrated one of the bunch.
Yep.
Kiss. I will admit, there are great songs by Kiss that I still do enjoy.
I respect the hell out of Ace Frehley. He is a phenomenal guitarist.
And Peter Criss for being a solid drummer, and also for just being a great human being, and also surviving cancer.
Is Peter Criss a great human being? I don't know what he did.
I don't think he's done anything. He was just always kind of a quiet member of Kiss.
Well, yeah, I mean, Gene and
Paul are the loud mouths of the fucking bunch. And
honestly, I put Kiss in.
I'll go B.
No,
because their 70 stuff is pretty good for what it is, and then after
it's just. But to me, there's so many other better rock bands around that time. There's no reason to listen to Kiss over them. Again, I respect Ace Frehley a lot because he's a phenomenal guitarist. He really is.
And was easily, he was kind of like Mick Mars was to Motley Crue.
Yeah, the only talented member.
And to a lesser degree, Peter too.
Yeah,
to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
It was basically you had the good half of Kiss and the bad half. The good half, Peter and Ace. The bad half, Paul and Gene.
Yeah.
All right. We are
Zeppelin. That's an S tier.
Zeppelin. Yeah, that's S tier. I mean, from the first album through Physical Graffiti, that's a perfect run of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have those albums. Granted, I've not had the chance to sit down and listen to all of them consecutively like I'd love to, but it'll happen one of these days.
I mean, again, you have four of the greatest musicians of all time in one band, so how can you not?
Most particularly, I would say the best of the bunch would be John Bonham.
Yeah, the one who's dead.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, in my opinion, S tier, the greatest southern hard rock band of all time.
Yep. Dude.
Freebird, Ooh That Smell, Simple Man, Tuesday's Gone.
Give Me 3 Steps.
Give Me 3 Steps.
Tuesday's Gone is my favorite Skynyrd song.
Yeah, I think my favorite Skynyrd song, man, that's tough because, man, there's so many great songs. I still need to get more Skynyrd, like 70s Skynyrd.
Well, I mean, that's the only Skynyrd you need because, like, after the plane crash,
they were never the same.
It was a completely different band.
Trying to think what would be my Saturday Night Special. That's a great one. I think maybe the one I go to the most will probably be Freebird, especially that solo.
Yeah.
So iconic. Pink Floyd, that's another S tier, obviously.
I like one Pink Floyd song, I'll be honest. Run Like Hell, that's pretty much the only Pink Floyd song I like.
I like Money. That's such a fun, that bass line is so iconic.
I hate Roger Waters. This is just me. First preference. I hate Roger Waters.
I mean, I'm not a big Roger Waters fan either, but
he's such a whiny fucking, my life is so bad and everything is wrong with me. Wah, wah, wah. I want to cry. Everything sucks.
But what saves Pink Floyd for being why I keep him in S tier? Literally everybody else, especially David Gilmour.
Well, I forget the drummer's name, but he's a damn solid drummer.
Oh, Nick Mason? Nick Mason, yep. And a good vocalist, too. Like, he did the vocals on Echoes. And he's got a great voice. Voice. But easily, when it comes to Pink Floyd, my go-to guy is David Gilmour. I mean, great guitarist and singer. Wish You Were Here. Man, that song is so...
Queen, another instant S tier.
Yes.
I mean, dude, they've done it all. They've done like the heavier kind of rock. They've done the prog rock. They did the more
Pop rock
stuff.
and symphonic.
They've
Did
done it all.
and they do it so well. Brian May,
Like,
one of the greatest songwriters of all time. Freddie Mercury, a great writer in his own right.
dude, Roger Deacon, underrated.
Roger Taylor, yeah, great drummer. I mean, and or you could make the argument Freddie Mercury, the greatest singer in rock history. Well, I mean, you gotta admit, his range from top to bottom is incredible. Like, he could sing high like an angel. He can sing low and sound menacing at times.
I would argue there's probably a couple singers that are better than him. Personally,
So we'll find. Rainbow.
Rainbow is a tough one because the first 3 albums with Dio,
Are
golden.
amazing.
The stuff with like Joe Lynn Turner and Graham Bonnet, they're poppier. They're not bad, but they're not like great either. So for that, I'd probably say B for Rainbow.
Yeah.
Personally,
Well, I would say let's bump them up to A because of the first 3
Okay,
Dio
yeah.
albums being as great as.
I mean, you have Stargazer, which is like arguably the first power metal song.
Mm-hmm. Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stones.
I like them more than the Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll probably say B.
I'll go B.
Because Rolling Stones are another one of these bands that have a lot of albums, but you don't need every one of them.
Rush, that's another easy S tier.
Yeah. Even though like
arguably the greatest prog rock band of all time.
Well, the greatest trio, the greatest 3-piece in rock for sure.
And best band to come from Canada.
No.
I think so.
I think Sacrifice is the best rock band to come from Canada, but whatever.
But like, and then even there's like 70s stuff you could also make an argument as being prog metal to a certain extent.
I mean, dude, Working Man, that's a heavy ass song.
Mm-hmm. Like, you could tell they were into Sabbath and Zeppelin for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Deep Purple too.
Mm-hmm. And then even when they started getting proggy, they still can keep a heavy riff in there too.
And then even like when they're poppier stuff, like Moving Pictures and stuff, is still really
amazing. Good. And hell, I still need to get their last album, Clockwork Angels, where it was kind of prog metal because it was a heavier production. But
I mean, they have some. Yeah. They do have a couple stinkers, but the highs are so high. It's
you can't outweigh.
Yeah.
Simon and Garfunkel.
I would never call Simon Garfunkel a rock band. To me, they're like just a folk group. But I do still really love Simon and Garfunkel. I'd go A.
Steely Dan.
S tier. I love Steely Dan so much. Again, debatable as to whether or not they're like a rock band because they're like prog rock, jazz, pop, all combined into one, and they're so good.
Yeah. All right, next up, Steve Miller Band. I go S.
I still kind of need to dive more to the Steve Miller Band, honestly.
It's mainly the radio songs, but the radio songs are so great.
Yeah, I only know
Rockin' Me, Joker, Fly Like an Eagle. I mean, they're all great songs that you could still listen to this day and never get tired of. Supertramp.
I'm not that familiar with Supertramp, honestly. The Who. I'd say probably B for The Who.
Yeah, I like. They got some great songs, obviously.
But they have some other stuff that's kind of
meh.
I mean, after Keith Moon died, it really
fell
takes a turn.
Even though Keith Moon was never the best drummer, he was more of a showman behind the kit, but it worked.
A psychotic showman at that.
Yeah. Yes. So
more like no, am I right?
I'm torn between S and A for yes because I have a few of their albums and I think they're great. I'm going
to turn on some lights because you can barely see me.
Yeah, it's like dwelling in the dark like a vampire.
I'm just a ghost. Ooh.
I'll go A for yes. Just because I still need to like listen to more of their stuff, but I do acknowledge in terms of the musicianship, probably one of the better bands on the list. I mean, John Anderson, amazing singer. Any drummer they had, particularly Bill Bruford, was amazing. Rick Wakeman, phenomenal keyboardist and creating soundscapes. Chris Squire, amazing bassist. And Steve Howe, underrated guitarist, and would eventually go on to form Asia. So there you go. And then finally, the Zombies.
I think I know one zombie song. They have that one song, Time of the Season. That's a great song, but I don't know them otherwise. A lot of bands that are missing.
Some, yeah.
No Kansas.
Yeah.
No Boston.
Kansas. No ZZ Top.
Yeah. What else? Like no Uriah Heep.
Molly Hatchet, Uriah Heep.
Journey? No
Journey.
Foreigner. No Van Halen.
Yeah, no Van Halen. What?
How do you make a class? No Bad Company either.
No Bad Company. No Free. No Yardbirds.
No Styx.
Yeah, no Styx.
No Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, no Grand Funk. No Iggy Pop. No Ted Nugent.
No Chicago.
Right. No MC5.
Yeah, no Police.
We had no Police. No Cheap Trick.
Dude,
Man, there was a lot of missing on here.
No Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, no Doobie Brothers. Yeah, there's quite a few missing on.
No Scorpions, which I find
no Scorpions.
Because you could also call them, even though they're metal, you could also call them a classic rock band.
Yeah, kind of like Sabbath. It's like they're a metal band that gets into classic rock.
No UFO.
Yeah, no UFO too.
I love UFO so much, man. That would have been an S tier. Steppenwolf.
Yeah, Steppenwolf. That's a big.
Yeah, Jefferson Airplane.
I think of some other. Eric Clapton solo could have been on here too.
Yeah.
Foghat.
No
Dire Straits.
Yeah, no Dire Straits.
Foghat could have been on here.
No Cure.
Cure.
Which, I mean, I guess you call them like goth.
Yeah, but they're like the first gothic rock band, but yeah.
REO Speedwagon.
Thin Lizzy, REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, where's Thin Lizzy?
I'm actually also trying to think of like old school prog rock that could have been on here too.
Mountain? No Mountain?
Yeah, Mountain. Camel.
Blackfoot? No Blackfoot?
Blackfoot. Nazareth. How is Nazareth not on here?
No Nazareth, yeah.
I think we got almost all the big
ones. What about Europe?
Well, they came in the 80s.
I mean, you can still call them like classic rock, though.
Well, I think what they were going for here was mostly 60s, 70s bands.
I guess.
Which I totally get.
I guess, but still,
But then if you start including Europe, then you'd have to include like Motley Crue and Leopard, Poison, any hair band.
Well, Europe aren't really metal, though.
Or like bands from that 80s period. Bon Jovi.
I guess. Well, fair. Oh, no Guess Who.
Yeah, Guess Who.
Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Frank Zappa.
Yeah. No Hawkwind.
38 Special.
Oh, yeah.
The Cars.
Well, they're kind of, yeah, I mean, they're poppy, but they're, yeah.
New wave, but still very rockin' too.
No Iron Butterfly, which for like the proto metal stuff.
Oh yeah, Iron Butterfly. Same with Blue Cheer.
Yeah, yeah.
Blue Cheer as well. Man, this list really. Oh, Sweet.
Oh, number one, Montrose.
Yeah, Montrose is Sweet. T-Rex.
Yeah. Iggy Pop.
Yeah, it's Iggy Pop and the Stooges. And was Toto in the 70s?
Toad?
Toto.
Yeah, Toad was.
T-O-T-O.
Oh, Toto. I think they were more 80s.
I think they were more 80s. So
I feel like they still count for this list, just because. I feel like they still count to a degree.
All right, let's
no
get
Bruce
back.
Springsteen.
Or yeah, that's a big one. No Bruce.
Tom Petty.
Yeah, no Tom Petty. That's the biggest one. Biggest omission.
Tom Petty, yeah.
And the Blackheart. Let's get back to some metal. Let's go Napalm Death.
I'm gonna have to sit this one out because I don't know Napalm Death that well.
Well, actually, before we get there, I gotta go take a wicked yes.
So it's just me. I am going to be hijacking this stream. Hello, everybody. I am taking over the stream. Levi has exited the room, and now I am in charge. No Joan Jett. Oh, yeah, that's another big one. Although, it's Joan, I guess, well, I don't know. I think Joan Jett counts, even though she might have been more 80s. Leia, are you under there? Hey. Come on out, you. Excuse me.
There you are. Hi. Come here, you. Come say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people.
Come on.
All right, I am back.
Do Levi a favor and give him internet points, Leia. He's in desperate need of them. Hey.
All right, so on to the Napalm Death. Keep in mind, this isn't going to be the official ranking because that'll be coming in video form hopefully next year.
One out,
but
okay.
Just a rough ranking for me because a lot of this could change now and. So kicking off with Scum, I go
Scum.
B.
Well, Scum is like an insanely influential album, but it's also not
quality-wise. It is so uneven.
Like the production is pretty bad. The songs are just kind of.
Well,
like
the side A, I think, was perfect.
I feel like some of the songs though are kind of like it sounds like what grindcore is to people who don't like grindcore. Just that.
Well, again, the side A, the side that had Justin Broderick and Nick Bullen, I thought it was perfect the way it was.
It's kind of crazy how it has two different lineups on each side.
And then the lineup with Bill Steer and Lee Dorian in there. there was only a couple of standouts on there, like Life and Success. But other than that, not really my bag. But Deicide with Nick Bullen, Justin Broderick, and Mick Harris together, I thought was perfect. From Enslavement to Obliteration, massive improvement. I go A for it. I mean, and like the riffs, Bill Steers' riffs came out more on that song or on the album, and production little better, but still not quite there. Then Harmony Corruption, for me, that's an easy yes. I mean, it's their most death metal album.
Yeah, still. And, yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a killer album, personally.
Totally killer.
Suffer the Children is a death metal classic.
Unfit Earth with
Inner Incineration.
Together. The Chains That Bind Us is so killer.
Inner Incineration.
Blast. All right, Utopia Banished.
I'd say S tier. That's like the perfect blend of
grind album.
It's the perfect combination of Harmony Corruption and From Enslavement to Obliteration.
Because it has the tone of From Enslavement, but with the musicianship more closer to Harmony Corruption.
Yeah, and
Danny Herrera coming in on drums definitely helped. Like, Mick Harris was great, but Danny's just better at doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fear, Emptiness, Despair.
For me, S tier.
I'll go A.
That's my favorite Napalm Death album.
I do like that album quite a bit. In terms of that more groove metal inspired era, easily.
Morbid Meets the Eye.
Plague Rages.
Armageddon times 7.
Twist the Knife Slowly.
How can there be 7 Armageddons? That's crazy.
Diatribes.
Blech. It's like they're like almost new metal album, kind of.
Alt metal, groove metal.
It's like a new metal band trying to do a grindcore album.
Groove metal and alternative metal.
Yeah.
Same with Inside the Torn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Words from the Exit Wound, though, I do like quite a bit. Far better than the previous two. Like, almost a transition to where they would go next. And where they would go next, of the music business. I would go B, but like a high B.
I mean, that's like them just being like...
Fuck Earache
off at Earache.
Yeah,
which, I mean, yeah.
Records.
Because they're terrible.
Order of the Leech. Basically the same kind of album, but maybe the production a little bit better and got a little more intense. Code is Red, Long Live the Code. That's an A tier. Love that. Spear Campaign, same deal. And then Time Waits for No Slave, that's an S tier.
Yeah. Again, this is all
mostly me, yeah.
I'm not.
Utilitarian, I'll go B. They definitely got a little avant-garde.
They brought like a jazz artist for that one, didn't they?
John Zorn, yeah. Yeah, the saxophone player. Apex Predator, Easy Meat. I go A. That is fucking feral. And then finally, Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism. I'll go S tier with that one. But again, this isn't the official ranking. This is just kind of a rough ranking of what could be for a future ranking. So much so, I'm not going to arrange them in order from least favorite to favorite just yet, because I'm not even sure.
All right, now what?
Let's go.
What about like a 90s metal band?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a 90s.
Pantera?
Yeah, we can go Pantera. Which this will be fairly
easy.
Alright, so first off, where are you? Down here.
Yeah.
And that's
it's not that good.
Now, Projects and I Am the Night, musically, I think those albums are really good.
Vocally, they're horrible.
Fucking Terry Glaze, what the ever loving.
He sounds like Vince Neil, but somehow worse.
Yeah. Like how is that possible? How is that possible? All right. Anyways, power metal.
I'd say A, honestly.
I'm going A. I fucking
That
love
album's
power
damn
metal.
underrated.
It's just essentially classic metal meets thrash metal. Is what that album is.
Yeah, Phil Anselmo, that's like his most unique performance.
Yeah, he just like
He sounds like Rob Halford.
Sounds like a sleazy Rob Halford. Which fucking awesome stuff. Cowboys from Hell. Now we get to the Pantera.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
and that's my
tier.
personal favorite Pantera
My
album.
number 2. It's a solid number 2. Don't clip that out of context, chat.
Vulgar display of power.
I'd say A.
I'm going A.
I
love it. I do love it, but it's not to me not as memorable.
It's got a couple filler tracks on it, but the really good songs are really good. Like, dude, By Demons Be Driven.
Walk is still a staple, and I can't wait
This
to hear
Love.
it live. This Love.
I even love Hollow.
Yeah, Hollow's great. Fucking Hostile is such a great kind of underrated crossover song.
A New Level.
Yep. Far Beyond Driven.
That's an S tier.
S. I mean,
Strength Beyond Strength. Becoming.
Hardline Sunken Cheeks.
Oh, the cover and the cover of Planet Caravan.
Beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Great Southern Trend to Kill.
I'd say S
tier
tier
for me.
Dude,
I mean,
Suicide
definitely
Note.
probably the heaviest Pantera album you could argue.
Honestly, it's like their most just angry album.
Angry,
Like,
deranged album.
They were just going through a bunch of shit when that album released.
Yeah,
like,
mostly Phil.
Yeah, dude,
like,
Suicide Note 1 and 2.
Tens is a great song. Floods, their doomiest song.
Arguably one of the best dime solos. Yep. And dude, the ending bit,
where it just sounds like freaking apocalypse happening right in your.
Yeah. Underground in America.
Yep.
Living Through Hell.
13 Steps to Nowhere. Great song.
Yeah.
I mean, top to bottom, it's fucking killer. And then Reinvent the Steel, I go
B. It's kind
still
of
good. It's good, but it definitely felt like more like a love letter to the fans.
It felt a bit uninspired in some spots to me. It kind of just felt like them going through the motions. Like, okay, guys, let's do what we're good at, but not really try that hard.
Yeah. Avoid the Light, which that wasn't even on the album, was probably the best song.
Yeah.
Period.
But still, like, I do really like, I'll Cast a Shadow.
Revolution is My Name is still killer.
Death Rattle.
Hell, fun fact for those who don't know, there's an instrumental alternate version of Death Rattle that ended up as the SpongeBob Pre-Hibernation Week episode song, which is funny. Absolutely funny. So occasionally on that episode, you're going to hear Pantera. So there you go. But yeah, and then in terms of the order, I Am Tonight better than Projects.
Yeah. I'd say
Vulgar could go above Power Metal.
I personally, Far Beyond would be my favorite, but
I think S tier. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What
so
about
really only 2 switch-ins?
What about Candle Mass?
It's only just a few, like the 80s stuff and their last.
Well, here
two.
I'll be your man. I'll be the one.
Yeah, because I know there's a ton of other albums like that I need to check out. That I know.
All right. So we'll start at the beginning with Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus, which, yeah, I mean, it's the birth of Epic Doom. How can you not? The song Solitude alone.
Crystal Ball, Demon's Gate.
Black Stone Wielder. And Nightfall is basically Epicus, but better.
Ancient Dreams.
I'd say A for that as well, because...
And Tales of Creation. Basically the entire 80s run.
Yep, I mean, it's
amazing.
It's a 10 out of 10 album run. So now we move on to Chapter 6, which is the one next to Sweet Evil Son. That one, yeah. Personally, I would say C. It's a good album, but it's kind of weird. It's like almost power metal in some spots. like Messiah had left at this point, and they got, I think his name was Thomas Vikstrom to do the vocals. He kind of sounds like Tony Martin, honestly. It is a good album. Like, there are some good songs on it, but not really one I think I return to that often. And then, of course, after that, we get Dactylus Glomerata, which is that one. I don't think any of these albums are, like, bad, but, I mean, the Dactylus Glomerata, it wasn't even supposed to be a Candle Mass album. It was supposed to be an Abstract Algebra album, but, like, I think the story is that, Leif Edling, the bassist and basically the principal songwriter, because Candle Mass was broken. They broke up after Chapter 6, and at this point, they was like, he like didn't have any money, so, and the label was like, hey, we'll pay you like more if you just release this album as a Candle Mass album. Actually, I'm pretty sure Michael Amott from Carcass is on this album too, which is kind of crazy.
Think I do remember.
Yeah. And but yeah, so they're basically like, and then so they came out as a Candle Mass album. It's not bad, but it's just so far removed from what Candle Mass is. Like, it's kind of more stoner prog, stoner rock kinda. I don't know. It's an odd album.
All right, was it from the 13th Sun?
Yeah, from the 13th Sun, basically the same as Dactylus Glomerata. That one. No, not that one. That one. Yeah, pretty much the same deal. I think it's slightly better than Dactylus, but they're both kind of just, they're not bad. They're just kind of not there. They're just kind of bleh.
And now, self-titled.
It's kind of weird there's no S tier. That's odd.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say B. I'll say B then, but because this was a comeback album, like, dude, they got Messiah back and killer album. Yeah, no, I mean, this was their last album they had with Messiah. Kind of a shame, I guess. Candle Mass and Messiah Marklin were just not really meant to be. It's been a while since it's been a while since I listened to this. I'm just going to quickly look to see what tracks they're really good on here, because, I mean, you have Man Who Fell From the Sky is a really cool kind of instrumental. Born in a Tank is a killer song. Black Dwarf, Assassin of the Light. Yeah, this is a killer album.
Yeah, I heard this is one that I check out.
All right, next up,
King of the Grey Island.
This is another B tier. Los Antelope, if you're still here, I know this is your favorite Candle Mass album. This is the first of the 3 they did with Robert Lowe on the vocals, and yeah, like, dude, Emperor of the Void, killer song of Stars and Smoke, Destroyer, Embracing the Sticks. This giant closing song is fucking awesome. It's my favorite of the Robert Lowe era. I love it personally, so I'd say B. All right, next up we have Death Magic Doom.
This is the big one I hear from a ton of people that I need.
Oh yeah, no, I'd say B for that one too. That's another killer album. It's not quite as strong as King of the Grey Islands in my opinion, but I do still really, really like it. Same with Psalms for the Dead. I think if that's the title, if I remember correctly. Yep.
All right, now the last 2 I can say a little bit more. I did the Door to. I thought the Door to Doom was good. I thought it was good. I go C.
C. Yeah, Johann's vocals haven't aged super well in my opinion, but it's still got good songs on here, like Astorlas, the Great Octopus, featuring Tony Iommi. And this is also the song that got them a Grammy nomination, like, in America. So that's pretty cool. Under the Ocean is honestly one of my favorite Candle Mass songs ever. I love that song.
And Sweet Evil Son.
I'd say C too.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was worse though than Door to Doom.
Well, they're
mainly
not bad.
It's not bad, but it just like it didn't quite click with me for some reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the production is a
and the
bit of an issue,
kind of.
Yeah,
and like even musically, it didn't feel really that doomy to me. It almost felt kind of like classic heavy metal. It almost feels a bit like a Pagan Altar album in some spots, where it's that extent, like, perhaps,
or even like Witchfinder General, where it's like that. It's doomy-ish, but it's also very kind of classic heavy metal too.
Yeah.
So
but, now, to arrange it all,
I would say From 13th Sun is better. Yeah. So I'd say probably chapter 6 is the weakest of these three at the bottom, personally. And then I think King of the Grey Islands above self-titled. That's Psalms of the Dead. That's there you go. There you go. Big Candle Mass fan, guys. And then personally, for me, Tales of Creation is my favorite Candle Mass album.
But my favorite, Nightfall.
Well, I think Ancient Dreams could go at the bottom because.
And there we go.
Yeah. That's the definitive Candle Mass ranking from
both of us.
Levi.
Mostly him, except for me when for the 80s and last two.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like,
almost half. I know almost half of Cat. All right, next up, let's go Gojira.
Gojira.
All right,
only 7.
And this is only 7, but and again the preface, no bad album. I think they're all awesome.
Honestly, I feel like we could cut off C and D again because
there's not going to be any. It's going to go,
especially since it's such a short discography.
Thus far, yes. All right, so kicking off with Terra Incognita, I go A tier.
Yeah,
in terms of in terms of their most death metal, straight up,
it's their heaviest album.
Yes, and also tons of Morbid Angel worship, but also a lot of Meshuggah
killer
worship
songs
too.
Killer songs. Everything is fire. Or fires everything.
Whatever. Yeah, it's like it's funny. It's like Gojira had fires everything. Ulcerate, everything is fire. But Clone, there are Morbid Angel riffs galore on that song.
Lizard
I also
Skin.
really like Rise. Even Satan is a Lawyer at that point, their most big novelty song. That's so fun.
Yeah.
It feels like grunge in the verses and then death metal in the chorus riffs.
It's kind of a novelty jam, but
it is a novelty. But they're first of 2 novelties. We'll get to the other one. The Link. Okay.
I'd say B.
B, but it's still amazing though.
It's my least favorite Gojira album personally, but I do really like it.
It was my number 5. It was my number 5.
I should also point out we both just did our Gojira rankings not
too
that long ago.
Yeah, mine was February.
Mine was literally just 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
So it's kind of fresh off.
Yeah.
Finally, S tier, we go From Mars to Sirius.
That's my favorite.
I mean, it's progressive death metal mastery.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that kind of hybrid of Meshuggah, syncopation with, Morbid Angel riffs and grooves, some, Neurosis and Tool in terms of the atmosphere.
Some kind of Meshuggah groove.
Yeah. When it comes down to a lot of the riffs, it's Morbid Angel and Meshuggah mixed. The syncopation of Meshuggah with those pretty clean melodies of a Tool or a Neurosis kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Way
of All Flesh. I'd say A.
I go A.
I think it's their most foggy album.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, The Art of Dying. I mean, again, The Art of Dying. I never headbanged so much in my life than when they played that live.
I mean, but dude, Toxic Garbage Island.
Acuity.
All the Tears.
Adoration for None with Randy
Blythe.
The title track. Bly. The THE is silent.
Why is there 3 letters in your name silent? You weirdo.
I don't know. Blame his family. La Font Sauvage. I also say S tier.
Yeah, I love La Font Sauvage. Gift of Guilt. Ugh.
Born in Winter. The title track.
Explosia.
Mm-hmm.
Killer. Kind of the transitional album a little bit between
towards
them.
Where they would go next, which is Magma.
I'd say B for Magma. I do like it.
I do love Magma.
But it's not the best.
And then Fortitude.
I'd say A for Fortitude. I honestly thought Fortitude was an improvement over Magma, personally.
I mean, I had Fortitude last on my list, but I still liked it. The closer on that song almost kind of felt like... Oh. Yeah, Grind. Felt like a return to the From Mars to Sirius era, which from what I've been hearing in terms of their progress in the studio, as far as what this next album is supposed to be like, it's supposed to kind of perhaps go back a little bit to the old era, like more back to a heavier sound, which I would gladly be jamming that all the live long day when it happens.
But dude, Born for One Thing, Amazonia, Newfound.
Amazonia, the other novelty jam.
It's a novelty jam, but I do really like it still.
Or wait, or am I thinking of another song? Or no, the chant. I think it's the chant.
Oh yeah.
Or what?
Well, Amazonia
I'm
was
trying
the
to
boing,
remember.
boing, 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 boing. That was
no,
the one that's.
Or was it Amazonia? I think I might be thinking.
Amazonia
no,
was
not.
like. Amazonia was like the boing, 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 boing song.
No, it's not Amazonia. It's the chant. It's the chant. That's the one. That's the other novelty jam. It's like, whoa.
I like the chant.
I like that too, and the crowd was into it whenever they played that live.
But yeah, Gojira's just a killer band.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait for the next album because holy shit, if they say it's going back to a heavier sound, I feel like we're gonna get probably a continuation of these two albums with maybe touches of these.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see, but maybe keep a few of the more melodic aspects from these two.
Yeah,
but maybe just not do them as much if that's the case. But
I feel like
no matter
considering
what, it's gonna be.
I feel like considering Fortitude was kind of more heavier than Magma, I feel like they're going to go for that.
Yeah, go for that, but even heavier, like perhaps like La Fonte Sauvage Part 2, kind of.
La Fonte Sauvage Part 2.
With touches of From Mars to Ceres and Lit.
La Fonte Sauvage Part 2, Melodic Boogaloo.
Brutal Boogaloo.
Brutal. I'm gonna start a brutal. I'm gonna start a slam metal band called Brutal Boogaloo.
Let's go to Meshuggah.
My favorite Yiddish band.
Hey, let's see how up to. Oh, not even close to.
It's kind of crazy that this band's only on the archives because of their first album.
So stupid.
Yeah, the archives are stupid.
Oh, shit.
Can't wait for fucking Metal Archivist to come back. That will be fun.
If I decide to bring it back, I still haven't made up my mind about.
I'm still pissed about the fucking Crowbar section, dude.
I know.
I will never get over it.
So upset. And I know I was confused by when the Meshuggah, but anyway, so not gonna include the demo. The demo.
Who the fuck is Scamp? I still don't know who Scamp is.
Kicking off with Contradictions Collapse. Okay, so these tiers are a little much. We have GOAT, SAPC, okay, bad. I'll go ahead and say I don't think there's a bad Meshuggah.
No.
So kicking off with Contradictions Collapse, personally, I'm going S tier with it.
I'd split the difference and go A or B. It's the most un-Meshuggah of the bunch.
But I love it for that reason, though. It's like basically
Voivod.
Swedish Voivod, Swedish Coroner, Swedish Sadist.
But still, like, kind of more groovy, I feel like, than those other bands.
There are some more grooves there to it, but my god, when they're thrashy, they're fucking thrashy to them.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it's their only metal album, so obviously it's their best.
But like in the only album Frederick Thorndahl does any vocals on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely tell a slight difference between him and Jens. Like, they're similar, but there is a key difference. Like, Frederick's got more of like a straight up thrash delivery, where Jens tries to add a little more melody, and he just sounds like a even gruffer James Hetfield.
Yeah.
But man, songs like You'll Never See the Day, Greed, Qualms of Reality, Abnegating Cecily, Cadaverous Mastication.
I mean, to quote Jamie John, it is like a Voivod album, but being played by Metallica. That's what it sounds like.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
Because there are Metallica riffs, like, and Justice for All riffs on it, too. This is almost like Swedish and Justice for All, I would call it.
Yeah.
Because And Justice had groove in it, had plenty of thrash, basically same thing with Country.
And you can actually hear the bass on this one, which is nice.
Yeah. The Nun EP. I personally have always I've loved this EP, most particularly for the song "Ritual," because of how like heavy yet melodic it is. Like I keep saying it, it almost sounds like if Pantera and Metallica co-wrote "Wood" with Alice in Chains, because it's similar in tone and feeling, but just heavier and proggier.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, the EP, like Sickening, Cumulative, Gods of Rapture, all those songs are great. Even Aztec Two Step, for what it is, it's fun. I'll go beat.
I kind of need to spend more time on EP. I don't know. I've always just kind of like not really delved much into it. I'm not much of an EP guy, even to begin with, personally, unless it's like gradually melted by Deeds of Flesh or something. But yeah, you know.
But I'd say None is a very, very good EP. And I want to say Gent as a genre, this was the EP/release that created it.
I mean, that's the transitional period.
Going from thrash to the proggy
groove metal
sound.
Yeah. The gent, as they call it.
Even though, again, not a genre.
No, it's a guitar tone.
Yep. Or if they're bands within that, they're either prog metal bands, metalcore bands, or deathcore.
Yeah.
Or a hybrid of all that.
Yeah.
Like in the case of Periphery, I say they're a prog metalcore.
Prog
Born of Osiris, prog deathcore. That kind of. Yeah. Anyways, Destroy, Erase, Improve. That's the GOAT.
Album covers and
unbelievable cover. Like, what is happening? But I
who
like it for that reason.
I personally would put it lower. It's not like my go-to when it comes to this stuff. I think it's kind of. I just feel like they would. The formula is there. I just feel like they would do it better on subsequent releases.
I don't know. Part of me just. I don't know. Part of it's kind of nostalgic for me because Future Breed Machine. That is such a killer song. But I also do like how it just feels like the combination of this, all culminating with that. And then also like Soul Burn is such a wild polyrhythmic song, and then Terminal Illusion, probably their most thrashy song post Contradictions Collapse. Sublevels, Suffer in Truth. I just love that. Chaos Sphere.
For me, that's a goat.
I also go with Chaos Sphere.
I love that album. Like, dude, New Millennium Cyanide Christ, Corridor of Chameleons, Mouth Licking What You Bled. Every track on there is killer.
Nothing.
The original mix is not great.
Which I have. I do plan on getting to 06 when they got
with
the 8-string
that
guitars.
actually has the bass.
We'll go A for Nothing. Because I do like Rational Gaze. Rational Gaze.
Straws pulled at random.
The I EP, or basically the I song, I go S. I go S because that song is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Like, you get death metal, you get thrash, you get the Meshuggah sound, tech death even. Like, everything. Absolutely everything. Where is it? Catch 33.
That's not Catch. No, that's the one beside it.
Oh.
That's Coloss. That's Catch 33.
Here's Catch 33. Covered.
I don't really get why they did this album. Like, it's kind of just like the pacing of the album is so off. It actually makes the songs kind of hard to listen to, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, aside from Shed, the only other track out of this whole thing that I remember and liked was In Death is Death. That's actually a pretty good song.
And accurate.
That, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Obzin, that's another quote.
The song Bleed alone.
Actually, funny enough, I finally, even though I'd listened to songs off Obzin, I never listened to the whole thing in one fell swoop until recently. And holy shit, where was I for all this time?
Yeah, where were you? Dude, Dancers to a Discordant System, Lethargica, the title track, Combustion.
Yep. Alright, now Coloss.
I'd say A for Colas. I do really like it. Like, break those bones whose sinews gave it motion. Something like that.
All right, and now Violent Sleep of Reason. I go S.
I love that
I
album.
really,
yeah.
really liked it. That was my first full Meshuggah album I listened to. Came out in 2015. I remember quite a good bit.
Yeah,
Can't
Clockwork.
can't really say the same for Immutable. Not the biggest fan.
Yeah, it's just kind of so by the numbers, Meshuggah. Like, it's just like, okay, like, we're just going to go in there, we're just going to do what we do, but not as interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully, whenever we get to a future release, they can get the spark back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Which I think they. I mean, with Yin's fucking beard he's got now, he's got to be more inspired. With that fucking beard that he has, which I never thought he'd grow a beard like that, because you always used to just see him with the chin. Now he's got the full thing, looking like he could be a member of Swedish Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, now he's like a monk living in a mountain in Bhutan.
And the only members with long hair left are Thomas and Martine. They're the only ones with long hair left, whereas Frederick, he cut his hair. And he's getting the beard going. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll close this stream.
Let's do some more non-metal.
Well, let's do one more metal, and then we can pick.
Yeah, fair.
Final band discography?
Let's see, we've done death metal, we've done black metal, we've done doom.
Haven't done a thrash one yet.
No, but we've kind of got, well, we kind of have a little bit. Kinda. What about
Testament?
Okay, no, let's do Testament.
Testament album.
Testicles.
Alright, so this one.
Looks like it has everything.
Even alternate covers of stuff or whatever. Alright, kicking off with the first one, The Legacy. That's S tier. My favorite of the entire catalog. Still. The New Order. Close second.
Yeah.
Gonna be right up there with his older brother. Now, practice what you preach.
I'd say B.
I'll go B because there are some awesome songs
The
on
title
there,
track,
as a whole, not my favorite.
It's mostly the title track and Blessed in Contempt that save it for me.
And also, Nightmare Coming Back to You is pretty good, too.
I do like the ballad. I think that's a nice
I like the ballad. That's a pretty song. Souls of... I go B tier as well.
I'd say A. I think it's a damn underrated album.
Yeah.
Like, did 7 Days in May, and... yeah.
Ritual, Call Me Nuts, I put S tier.
I'd say B. B. I think
we'll meet in the middle at A.
It's got some really good songs on it.
The only song that I don't go back too much is Deadline, and that's not enough to hurt the album at all.
But dude, As the Seasons Gray, Return to Serenity,
Dreams, Electric Crown.
Yeah, it's got a killer track.
The title track, they're up to this point doomiest song they ever did. And it's like, yeah, and we talked about it recently. Yeah, it was their attempt at doing their version of the Black Album, but they did it so damn well, though, and made their, up to this point, their darkest album.
Yeah.
Of their career. Low.
I like Low.
But I'm still gonna go B tier.
Yeah, I mean,
but I still really like it.
Dog-Faced Gods.
The title track, Trail of Tears.
It's such a pretty song.
Yep.
Demonic. Stee.
It's a Stee.
It's a Stee.
I'll go D. It's not horrible by any stretch of the means.
I mean, it's like their almost death metal album.
But not quite done.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it's just very uneven. But The Gathering is an S tier for me. I love that album. Dude, it's pretty much a super group. You have Dave Lombardo, Steve DiGiorgio,
And James
James Murphy
joining Eric Peterson and Chuck Billy.
Like, dude, so many, like, Down for Life, DNR, what else? Careful What You Wish For is a killer track. This is just a killer album.
Legions of the Dead.
Yes. Legions of the Dead is so good.
Formation of Damnation. This is an
I'd say
tier
A.
for me.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's perfect comeback album right there.
Yeah. More Than Meets the Eye alone
9 years.
is.
The title track, probably Chuck Billy's most intense vocal performance. It's the title track where he's just death roaring the whole time. Or
Yeah.
thrash death roaring.
Mm-hmm.
But also other killer songs like Killing Season, Big Triplet Chugging Stomper.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the lyrics are stupid, The Evil Has Landed is a great song musically. Just, again, killer stuff top to bottom. And honestly, same goes for Dark Roots of Earth.
It's kind of, I feel like Dark Roots of Earth is probably their most ambitious album.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of combining Formation of Damnation with The Ritual.
Well, yeah, because you get hints of Doom, hints of prog even.
Yep. But still get a lot of crazy thrashy bits.
And more melody, too.
I mean, hell, the chorus on Native Blood. Epic chorus with blast beats.
Yeah, Native Blood, True American Hate.
Even though, while the lyrics are more geared towards concert play, Rise Up's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome opener. Last Stand of Independence, the title track. Cold Embrace for, like, the dirgy, doomy kind of style. So good.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the Snake. I go A.
Yeah, some of the lyrics are
Cannabis is the only one, but everything else lyrically.
Title track is awesome.
Yeah.
What else?
I have to go back through the track list because even I can't remember all the songs off the top of my head.
There's like 9,000 bands out there. It's like hard to remember individual songs at that point.
Yeah, even though I'd listened to Brotherhood plenty of times.
Pale King,
Seven
Stronghold.
Seals, Neptune's Spear, Jack Black, Centuries of Suffering.
Dude, Stronghold is a ripper.
Basically, top to bottom musically, it's one of their best.
Yeah.
And then finally, Titans of Creation.
I'd say A.
Yeah.
It's better than the Practice What You Preach.
Oh, yeah. Some of the big standouts, Children of the Next Level, Night of the Witch.
City of Angels.
Curse of Osiris.
Ishtar's Gate.
Like freaking Eric Peterson's like black metal screams he does on Curse of Osiris are pretty nasty. And I can't wait for another album.
It's been a while. Come on, guys.
Over 5 years.
Come on, Chuck Billy.
I honestly would have thought they had the album out last year, considering you notice a trend. They release an album every election year.
Come on, Chuck Billy. Show us your willy.
And I'll be curious to see how Chris Dovas does on drums since taking over from Gene Hoglan.
Yeah.
Even though they had Lombardo back, I wish Lombardo could have stuck around for an album because it would have kept the supergroup going, except the only difference you have Alex Skolnick instead of James Murphy. Would have been like Gathering Part 2, but with Alex instead of James. But Ardo's a busy man, so he couldn't stick around longer, and I wish he could have stuck around. Oh well. Alright, now what shall we do? Oh, actually, let's rearrange. I guess Low should go above Practice What You Preach.
I'd keep Souls of Black at the top of A.
I'd say A tier is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
And then S tier, I think top 2 is safe.
I would put The Gathering above New Order, because I know Legacy is your favorite.
Yeah, and New Order is my second favorite.
But
I think S tier. I think S tier is pretty. I think S tier is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, one could argue maybe Dark Roots and Formation could switch, but they're almost equal.
Yeah. I probably lean a bit more towards Formation of Damnation, though, personally.
I would agree.
All right, one last tier list. Let's make it a
That's
good
non-metal.
What should we do? Food, books, movies, women.
God, if we're talking about
No.
women, we'll be on here for hours.
What a
Trying to think of like one for movies.
relationship red flags. Let's do that one.
Oh God, I play that game too much. I don't want to bother with it anymore for the time being. I play that game too much with my buddies on Tabletop Simulator, and good lord, some of this. What in the ever-loving fuck?
Yeah. Movies. I'm just gonna try to find something.
Oh, wonder if they have this Rat Pack Movies 2000s. Basically, the comedy Rat Pack, which is like Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, James Franco, Jonah Hill,
Ben Stiller.
Owen Wilson. I don't think Ben Stiller was part of that in the 2000s. I think he was off doing his own stuff.
What was the Rat Pack? I actually don't.
The Rat Pack, it's the same group, but there's two sides of it. First side, you have it's mostly like Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Luke Wilson. And then you have the other side of the Rat Pack, like Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel.
So basically, one half like the
one half like
the
movies like Old School, 40-Year-Old Virgin, and then the other half is movies like Knocked Up and Pineapple Express.
So the first half is alcoholics, the second half is stoners.
Pretty much. But they also crossed over a lot. Like Anchorman, you had both Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd, and then Step Brother, Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, but Seth Rogen cameos. They all like came together a lot in the 2000s. Yes, they're not, but I guess they don't have that because they probably aren't aware of the 2000s Rat Pack.
Best movies ever. This one looks interesting.
We try 2000s comedy movies. I think that might be 2000. Oh, geez, 167. Good God.
No. Best Indian comedy movies? Yeah, we don't know that.
Would not know a damn thing. I would not know a damn thing. Oh no. Why did my voice suddenly get too squeaky there?
I found this one that looks kind of interesting. I can send it to you if you want.
What is it?
It's a movies one. It's just like 61, so it's not too many. But wrong thing. Send it. Let me just slip into your DMs a little.
Oh dear, you shouldn't.
I'm
Best
in there.
movies ever. I feel like this is gonna be massive. Oh, okay, maybe not so massive. Okay, I'm not gonna know half of these. I can already tell I ain't gonna know shit.
I think I'll know most of these at least. So that's
alright. So you're pretty much gonna take the helm of most of this. So start with 12 Angry Men.
Thoughts? What?
Well, there's a bunch of different versions. I know that. I've seen one.
This is the original with Henry Fonda and Lee J. Cobb, I think is his name.
What year was it?
57, I think.
Oh, I've not seen the 57. I've seen a more modern. Not like you said modern, maybe like it.
I think that was with George C. Scott, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong though. But the original 12 Angry Men is an S tier album. That's the best courtroom drama of all time. So, yeah.
Love Actually.
I've never seen Love Actually.
Apocalypse
Now.
Now.
S tier. Arguably the greatest war movie of all time.
Back to the Future. Finally, something I know.
That's an S tier. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I knew of Apocalypse Now, but never won.
Ah, dude, Apocalypse Now is so damn good.
Blazing Saddle.
I've not seen it. I know it's like a Mel Brooks comedy.
Casino Royale.
I've not seen it. Casablanca
Casablanca.
is an S tier. S tier's going to get quite full, so yeah.
Dances with Wolves.
I'd say B. It's good, but it is kind of, I think it is quite bloated. Yeah.
Die Hard
Die Hard.
3 with a Vengeance.
That's with Samuel L. Jackson, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I've seen bits of it, but not all of it. But the first Die Hard, now that is an S tier. That's the best Christmas movie of all the goddamn time. It is a Christmas movie. Don't laugh. Dr. Zhivago, I've never seen it. I know it's a classic, but I've never seen it. Same with Dr. No. Same with Dr. Strangelove. I've not seen it. It's a musical.
And Fight Club, another one I know.
That's an S tier.
I was thinking
Yeah.
A.
I think S. I think it's the perfect album. For
McClintock.
richer. That's for richer or for poorer. I've not seen it.
Oh, I see.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I'd say A. Yeah, I've only seen it once, but I'd say A.
Gettysburg.
I have not seen Gettysburg.
The
Godfather
Godfather.
Part 1, I'd say S tier. Yeah.
Goldfinger.
No, not seen it. Not seen it.
Gone
That's Gone
Girl.
Gone Girl.
I've heard about it, but Gone with the Wind.
The highest grossing movie of all time, if adjusted for inflation, but I've not
Yeah.
seen it.
Me neither.
Inglorious Bastards.
I still need to watch this whole thing.
I'd say B. I like it, but it's not my favorite Tarantino movie.
Interstellar.
Oh, that's an S tier, dude. I love Interstellar so much. Jacob's Ladder. Not seen it. Lethal Weapon.
Mel Gibson.
I've not. I should have seen it, but I've not seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Same. Leon the Professional. I'll say A. I think this might be Gary Oldman's best performance. He's fucking unhinged in the movie. Life is Beautiful. I've not seen it.
Matrix, the first Matrix.
I've only
I
seen
would assume people probably say that's an S tier.
I've only seen like half of it, so yeah, I can't really say.
McClintock. Now we're having McClintock.
I have no idea what
I've
McClintock
never
is.
seen.
Midnight Ride or Run. Midnight Run. Me neither. Mystic River. I go B, probably. I like it, but it's not my favorite.
North of Northwest.
North by Northwest. S tier.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
I go A, probably. Yeah. Piata Pora
Roku.
No idea what that is.
No clue.
Prisoners? I'll say B, probably.
Pulp Fiction.
That's an S tier. Rear Window, I've not seen, even though I should know it because it's one of the big Hitchcock movies. No clue.
Requiem for a Dream. I hear so much about this movie. I've never seen
it. It's disturbing. I'd say B. I don't really want to rewatch it, but it's effective for what it is trying to do.
7 Psychopaths.
No clue. What is this one?
Sex Mission. Ever heard of it?
No idea. Shawshank Redemption. That's an S tier.
Sin City.
Don't know.
No, that's Noir. Stand
Sin-
by Me.
S tier. One of the Star Wars movies. Is this A New Hope?
First one. I've never been a Star Wars guy.
Me neither, so I can't really say.
Terminator 2, that's an S.
Yes.
I mean, soft spot.
Big Lebowski. I'd say A. It's a damn
Watch it.
dude. It's so,
it's The
fucking
Birds,
fun.
which I need to watch. I need to watch freaking Hitchcock.
Oh, dude, I've not seen The Birds either, but Hitchcock has some really good movies.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly. That's
S tier. Arguably the greatest Western of all time.
Green Mile.
I'm torn between A and S for Green Mile.
I'll go
I'll go A, yeah.
Hurt Locker.
I'd say A. I think it's a damn good war movie.
Oh god, the most Notebook.
No, I've not seen it, so
C at best.
is this Princess Bride?
Yep.
I've not seen it.
I hear it's an amazing movie. But
Yeah, me too. I've seen like clips of it, but not enough to judge it. The Searchers? I'd say A. It's arguably the most overrated Western of all time, but it's still a damn good movie.
There's something about Mary. Why is this in the list? I mean, it's a good movie, but what the fuck? I'll go B, but still. Now, these next two immediately S's. Toy Story and Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
No question.
True Romance? I go B. I like it.
Wizard of Oz.
The original from 1939. I don't know if I've seen it.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces, but from what I've seen... Finally, Paris, Texas.
Texas. I've heard so much about it, but never seen it.
Oh, there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. The greatest movies of all time, according to...
Mostly him. Mostly him. I only had like a few, like
we're gonna
Matrix, Pulp Fiction.
We should
Terminator, Good, Bad, Ugly, Toy Story.
We should schedule like a
movie
Zoom
nights
call
on
or something,
or on Discord calls.
Yeah, have it.
Yeah, I have a Discord server.
I try to get into it, but the link in your description doesn't work.
I probably need to update.
Yeah, shoot me.
I think the link got fucked up.
Yeah, shoot me. After this is done, shoot me the link over Instagram, and then I'll hop on in.
Yeah, because hell, I might even get a movie night going maybe this weekend. I'd have to pick a real good one, obviously, but
I volunteer to be put in charge. We'll watch The Room and Chef.
I'd rather watch Chef.
You'd rather watch Chef?
Figure out this fucking link crap.
Link crap. My favorite type of link. I like big links, and I cannot lie. You have a brothers can't deny.
There you go.
Thank you.
Alright, let me stop sharing screen there. Finally, both of us big, full on for the first time in hours. First time in hours, but yeah, this will probably be the last StreamYard stream I'm doing for a couple of weeks, maybe. It depends on if I'm bored out of my gourd and see what the hell happens, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. So thank you both, Ricky and Maniac, for stopping by to keep me some kind of company throughout this chaos. But yeah, so yeah, this was fun to keep going through tier lists and making us look more like morons than we already do for not knowing certain stuff. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching. But until next time, keep your horns high and your dreams wet.